are. Packers 6-2. Winner of this, sole possession of first place in the NFC North. And, of course, the Packers have the bye week coming up next week, so a little break after their biggest game of the season. Sounds like Jordan Love is going to go following the groin injury suffered against the Jacksonville Jaguars last week. All the reports, Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, saying Love has been A, cleared, and B, will play today. We will hear the official injury report, which is, of course, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin about 1:55 this afternoon with Jason Wilde. Gabe, I'll start with you. I think I just said it on Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin. If you don't have a little bit of the EBGBs, I don't know how big of a Packers fan you are when it comes to Jordan Love playing today.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of concern, but I think you just have to trust Dr. Pat McKenzie and this training staff. They are historically, I mean, Jason tells the story about his daughter and Aaron Rodgers being the only people who've won arguments with Pat McKenzie about being able to get out and finish a season before some surgery would be necessary and whatnot. So this is a team that is historically conservative when it comes to injuries, and understandably so. So the fact that he has been cleared, the fact that they feel good about it, makes me feel better. But again, the wet conditions, the rainy field, the thought of, Lambeau can be slick from time to time. I think of the play against the Eagles down in Sao Paulo where he tried to plant the back leg, ended up kind of doing some splits in the pocket. That makes me a little bit nervous, certainly. But I trust the medical staff for the Packers, and I feel excited. I feel good about Jordan Love going into the game.
Steve, how about you?
I am not worried about it because, obviously all the things you just said make perfect sense. They're not going to do anything that's a risk your best player on offense. So I think that part is okay. And, if he did, he couldn't go, some point in the game, Malik Willis slides in. We know he can do it, right? He's done it 3 times. This is a game that matters in the season. It's not just this one Sunday, any given Sunday. This is a season significant game, and on this field with these conditions, you mentioned it with Craig. 3 games they're going to play outside this year.
Yeah, the Lions.
This is a big deal. It's going to be slippery. It's on grass. They're not used to it, and I know that our team is because I've seen them play every game at home this year. They're ready for this.
Yeah, it's a huge one. And obviously, as I just mentioned, the bye coming up next week, so Jordan Love will have the opportunity to get a little bit more healthy following this game, assuming he exits this game healthy.
And even though we have the rain coming down, the Lions are a good enough team. Yes, what Malik Willis has done in 2.5 games, I don't want to take anything away from him. But the Packers still limit with what he can do. They still protect him to an extent. Last week against Jacksonville, they threw the ball 20 times in the first half. Threw it 5 times to Malik Willis in the second half, right? They protect him to a certain extent. And there are going to have to be some throws today. Even though it's rainy, even though it's a little bit cold, and the weather conditions aren't going to be advantageous for throwing it, I guarantee you there are going to be 2 or 3 throws that Jordan Love's going to have to make today that Malik can't, that are going to make a difference.
Well, we know that because the Lions score 33 points a game. Yeah. You're not going to be sitting around handing the ball up to Jacobs. We got to score points. So that makes every drive significant. And in these conditions, crazy things can happen. Guys fall down, boom, 80-yard touchdown pass. That's the stuff I'm expecting to see. Crazy stuff today.
Christian Watson, where are you?
Yeah.
Oh, you're in the end zone. Got it.
He needs to get in the end zone a few more times.
Yeah, he does. He needs to become a bigger part of this passing game offensively.
But it was very obvious last week they wanted to get him.
Yes, they emphasized him.
They emphasized now he didn't get the touchdown, didn't have a big game, didn't have a big reception, but he had more targets, and it kind of seemed like they were talking about that leading up into that Jacksonville game of, hey, he's only had, I think it was 14 targets going into that game. We need to get him more involved. They tried to do that last week, and that's the one thing that with having the 4 wide receivers they do, plus Tucker Kraft, it's a little bit tough for Matt LaFleur to balance that on a week-to-week.
It's such a cool thing that we have all these guys that are really good receivers, can catch the ball, score touchdowns, and I'm not really worried about their skill level. They're all really good. Mm-hmm. So it's not like a team where they have one really good guy and maybe a couple other guys. They're all touchdown catchers in their own unique way. They all do different things, different speed, better hands on some. I am so geeked out about this receiver squad with this quarterback or the other quarterback. They'll get it done.
You're geeked out about the receiver squad or geeked out overall?
Overall, I'm geeked out.
Yeah.
Steve's got the energy today, man.
You know why?
Because
I'm sitting inside today and I'm not going to get ready down. That's why.
I'll be outside and I will test the theory whether or not cheeseheads are waterproof. Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, Steve Scafidi with you. It's Green Bay Game Day right here on ESPN Milwaukee, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. So we feel good about Love playing. Gabe mentioned it. Conservative medical staff. Sounds like they cleared him. We'll find out officially about 1:55 this afternoon, but sounds like he's good to go. He, although has not been particularly great this year, right? He's still high in interceptions, top of the league there. Has thrown a lot of touchdowns, too, and missed 2.5 games. But he hasn't been particularly great. We haven't seen the Jordan Love we saw in the second half of last season. This would be a good opportunity for him to get back to his old ways.
But if you kind of take a look, he's starting to trend in that right direction. There were a lot of games early, and for whatever reason, he gets off to slow starts. Interception last week early in the game, and he's gotten off to these slow starts against Philadelphia. I think he only completed around 50% of his passes before he got injured at the end of that game. And you look at the completion percentage of each game, it starts to climb a little bit higher. It looks like he's starting to find his footing, much like he did when you start looking at the game logs from a year ago. That's not to say he's going to play mistake-free football today, but I believe he is starting to trend in that right direction. I don't know if it's something that LaFleur has to do in the first 15 scripted plays to try to get him a little bit more settled. I know you remember going through it in the 90s where Brett Favre would always, he would get off the rocky starts, but then kind of settle his way in about halfway through the first quarter. They just have to find a way to get him started a little bit sooner, and I think we could really start to see him moving.
Thank you for recognizing my age and experience. I appreciate that.
No, I mean, look at the sweatshirt I got today.
I see that.
From 1993,
Where did you get that sweatshirt?
So my dad had this sweatshirt, and I probably stole it from him, 5-6 years ago or something like that. But,
I've kept all those sort of in my closet. I haven't picked one up yet.
That one is older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that wild? It still looks good, too.
Oh, yeah. It's really held up. It's held up. They made things differently in the 90s.
The neck is a little loose, but otherwise it's held up.
You and your dad must be the same size.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Perfect. They can share clothes. Green Bay Game Day, Gabe Neitzel, Steve Scafidi, Alex Strope hanging out with you just outside of Lambeau Field. This game feels like the biggest regular season game in a while, right? Like, I'm trying to think back to last year. The Chiefs game was big here at Lambeau Field.
So I was doing Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio on Friday, and Freddie made the claim that he believes this is the biggest post-Aaron Rodgers regular season game for the Packers. Do you guys agree with that?
Yes, absolutely.
I have to think about it. I think the answer is yes. I mean, obviously last year down the stretch in order to get into the postseason, those were all big.
It was winning in against the Bears last year.
Yeah, right.
So I feel like that was probably bigger because it was, again, a
I have similar nerves today, though, that I had last year for that game. All right? And I remember standing in the very spot we're standing in right now and thinking, these vibes and the quote-unquote EBGBs, to use the term I used earlier, are similar.
Here's why this game matters. The two teams that are playing are probably the two best teams in the division.
I think one of these two teams will represent
and
the NFC
arguably
in the Super Bowl,
top four in the NFC. That's why this game matters, because then you have that step up. Obviously, they're going to play one more time in Detroit, but this gives you that advantage. Now you'll be the first-place team, and we have a decent schedule. We've got to beat the teams in our division, but we're in a good place. It starts with that.
Yeah, starting with today, 5 of the last 9 games will be against divisional opponents for the Packers. This is a big game, but because they do play Detroit later, I feel like even if you lose this game, it's not the end of the world. There's still plenty of time left in the season to try to make it up. Yeah, you still feel good if you have a competitive game against Detroit should you lose this game. But like you said, if you win, man, you are sitting in a really good spot heading into the bye. Solo possession. Well, potentially, I guess we got to wait for Minnesota. Solo possession of first place in the NFC North, and potentially in that driver's seat because of the number of divisional games you have left, because of the number of conference games you have left, with games like San Francisco, Seattle still coming. They win today, they could be in that driver's seat for the number 1 seed.
You were talking about Jordan Love and how he's sort of figuring it out. Still making some mistakes, but if we remember the end of last season, boy, he was good. And if we have that sort of similar faith scenario this year, boy, you got to feel good about this team.
For the record, it still would be sole possession of first place in the NFC North. Minnesota would only be 6-2.
Okay.
With a win, the Packers would be, of course, be 7-2.
I still don't care about Minnesota. I still don't care.
I don't know. We'll find out. They play Sunday night tonight against the Indianapolis Colts. That game is at US Bank Stadium. Home game for the Vikings. Bears play the Cardinals 3:05 this afternoon. Of course, Packers-Lions. That is your NFC North action here on the docket today. 8 games in action. We will keep you posted on all of those throughout the show with you until 3:25. We'll take a break. When we come back, you just heard Gabe's answer. With a loss, can the Packers still win the NFC North? We will talk about that with Super Bowl champ Jarrett Bush, who will join us. Coming up next, Gabe Neitzel, Steve Scafidi, Jarrett Bush, Alex Strofe with you. It's Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
More Green Bay Game Day coming up on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
Hey, it's Gary Ellison here for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking for that midday escape? Or maybe you want to impress a client? Get a little slice of summer on the links with Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, a top-tech, cutting-edge golf experience that gives you the chance to play legendary courses. Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's simulators, entertainment, and best Bloody Marys make it feel like summer all year round. With bays at just $35 an hour, Mondays through Thursdays. That summer feel is easily back in your life. Book your bay at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
There's a clear choice for U.S. Senate. Career politician Tammy Baldwin wasted trillions of dollars and created crushing inflation. Baldwin opened our borders and gave taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants. And she voted to put men in girls' sports. Businessman Eric Hovde will stop inflation, secure our border, and defend our Wisconsin values.
I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
The kick is up and wide left.
Why don't they customize the goalposts?
Gina Della from Pella? How'd you get into the booth?
No, listen. If they made our goalposts just a little wider, and why just yellow? It's Green Bay. Add some green stripes.
Sure, Gina. Should they also remove the G at midfield and paint a Pella crest?
Okay, Wayne, I get it. You can't customize a football game to go the way you want, but Pella can customize your home the way you want. From durable materials and fold-away hardware to custom colors and ease of maintenance, backed by quality craftsmanship, energy efficiency, and warranties that will last for years.
And this has got to be the Pella Dagger.
Right now, get 0% interest for up to 60 months at PellaWI.com. Okay, now I've got popcorn and soda.
Right here.
$22.50, please.
Too bad we can't customize concession prices.
That's it. You've got this, partner. I'm out of here.
Hold your appointment on or before November 8th. Certain restrictions apply.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group. How's business? Do you really know? We recently worked with several clients who thought they knew but didn't because their books were not in order. Imagine thinking you were making $1 million when you were really only making $200,000. Quite a difference. Or you thought sales were down, but they were up and you didn't notice because you were so busy putting out fires. If these happen to you, we can help. We work with our clients to develop systems and procedures to improve their business and give them the information they need to know where their business is now and where it is going in the future. Don't wait. Start on the path to less stress, more cash in your pocket, and no more sleepless nights. Call us at 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net today to book a meeting. We can talk over Zoom, the phone, in our office, or your place of business. Yes, we make house calls. Don't wait any longer. Call 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
My night runs into morning.
Greetings, Gold fans. It is game day. Kick off your tailgate with Bacardi. Whether it's a Bacardi and Cola, lime and soda, or spiced in Cola, Bacardi is your game day go-to. Grab a bottle at your local retailer. Live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi USA, Miami, Florida rum, 40% alcohol by volume. It's Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. We are live in the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio, just outside of Lambeau Field. Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, Steve Scafidi, and joining us now, Super Bowl champion Jarrett Bush. JB, good to see you. Happy game day.
Happy game day.
Amped up. This is a big one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Hey, division rivalry, let's go. Pumped up.
Always easy to get up for this one.
Yeah. JB, walk me through. We're going to have wet, rainy conditions today. As a player, you're getting ready for this game. What are the things on the checklist that you've got to make sure that you can still play at your best, even though the conditions aren't going to be the best?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I think first and foremost, you need your footwear. First and foremost, you got to go out there. obviously the molded cleats aren't going to work, so you want to make sure you either have the 4-inch or 3-inch studs. That is first and foremost, because in that cutting and sliding, that's bad for business, as well as like the hands. I think the hands, as well.
How many pairs of gloves would you go through on a day like this?
You're going through at least 2 to 3, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure, especially if you handle the ball, if you're a receiver or running back, you're definitely going to go through them. Defensive backs, again, the footwear, you know what I'm saying, you have to be able to manage that. But as well as just security, ball security, knowing that the opponent has to face that, as well as your own self, as Green Bay Packers, you definitely need to secure that football and make sure those turnovers or remain at a minimum, or you seek opportunity as the defense to get that ball out.
Jared Bush, you have groin injury history.
Yeah.
Bring us in. We were talking about it at the break, and I said, good, you've had a groin injury. And I realized probably not the way I should have phrased that.
Yeah, it was awkward. A little awkward.
Awkward. Yeah, that's my bad, Steve. But you do have experience to lean on when it comes to what Jordan Love is dealing with. Bring us inside dealing with the groin injury.
Yeah, dealing with the groin injury, I mean, first and foremost, I think just that suddenness in explosion, coming at whatever cut or change of direction, definitely is limited and induces pain. Let's just be real. Yeah. So now that being a quarterback, I definitely feel like you're at a better advantage because you have 5 bodyguards essentially. Do you have to be nimble in the pocket? For sure. But at the same time, Jordan Love does, if he finds a crease, he doesn't necessarily have to maximize. I think he needs to be effective in that. As a defensive back, you're really at the mercy of the receiver, and he's moving, especially the receivers are pretty fast these days, and so you're already playing backwards. So in that change of direction, in that hip movement is definitely a lot, induces almost maximal pain in the sense, versus the quarterback, I think it's less to minimal pain usage in that groin injury.
The good news is Jordan Love is not Lamar Jackson.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, got it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, good. I'm glad he's not playing D-back and he's not Lamar Jackson.
For sure. So he should be in good hands. Understand that the offensive line knows that. And so I think in the back of your mind, you definitely want to play your A game with that O-line.
So we're playing a turf team. Wet conditions, and their defensive line is banged up.
Yeah.
Those all sort of point to our great offensive line, our very talented quarterback, and all the skill players around him.
Right.
Recipe for success, I think, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Slow them down.
Right. I just understand that, get the ball out quick. Understand that Jordan Love, as a head coach, you got to know his limitations, understanding he's battling a few injuries. And I think this is a great opportunity to see your quarterback grow on a field like this, to be able to cultivate some maturity, because, every football player is going to experience pain. And, I think it's a great cultivating arena for Jordan Love to kind of show what he can do, despite some of the challenges in this circumstance.
Really good insight from the Super Bowl champ, Jared Bush, Gabe Neitzel, Steve Scafidi, Alex Drove hanging out with you on Green Bay Game Day. Points today is what it sounds like to me, fellas. Points.
It's always tough to try to figure that out when you're playing in a game like this.
Yeah.
Because, again, somebody can slip and it can turn into a big touchdown.
Yep.
Or, somebody slips and it turns into, big turnover. I would think that with Josh Jacobs on one side and David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs on the other, you would think that maybe it becomes a little bit of a shorter game if these teams want to try to establish the run and make sure that their quarterbacks, whether it's because of injury for Jordan Love or because he hasn't been very good outside in Jared Goff, that they want to limit their exposure into throwing some of these balls in the wet, rainy conditions.
The question that has been on my mind all week is, if the Packers lose today, which obviously there is certainly a chance of that, can they still win the NFC North? They would fall to 6-3 going into the bye week. The Lions would, of course, be 7-1, so essentially a 2-game advantage. I think my answer is yes, but it would be very hard. They would make it very hard on themselves the remainder of the year with 8 games remaining. Gabe, we'll start with you.
Yeah, it would mean that game on Thursday in early December would be a must-win in Detroit. You would have to win that game because you couldn't fall even further behind. But I think it's still certainly possible. When we were talking throughout the course of the week of, okay, what if Jordan Love can't play? What if it's Malik Willis? It's like, well, you have the bye. Being 6-3 at the bye is still a really good spot to be in. Would it be difficult? Yes. But with 8 games left, and 4 games of those being divisional games, I think that still would leave the door open to potentially winning the division, even if they lose today.
Let's go to Steve Scafidi next.
I don't sweat that. The history of this team is, even at 9-7, they get in the playoffs, they do pretty well, right?
Yeah.
We saw what happened last year, right? Were they 9-7, something like that? 9-8?
10-7?
9-8 last year.
9-8.
I don't care about home games. I love home games. I'd love to have them, but I know this team's good enough to go on the road and beat somebody. We saw it last year, so I'm not going to sweat the division at this point in the season. There's so many things that can happen. There's injuries that happen, weird games that don't turn out the way we think they're going to turn out. This team is an exciting young team. That's what as an old Packer fan, that's what I hang my hat on. They got so many cool players that do a lot of amazing things. And you know what? They're going to be around for a while. So I don't think they think about that stuff. Sure, would it be nice to win the division? Absolutely. Do I care about it? Not really, because they're good enough to get in the playoffs.
Interesting. Let's get some player perspective from Jared Bush. Obviously, following 2 games behind, never ideal, but a lot of ball game left. I imagine is what you're going to say.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna piggyback off my guys here, Steve here. I think I have a ton of NFC North championships sitting in my pocket. But at the
yes, you do.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think there was one that really mattered the most, and there's one I always see people wearing that sweatshirt, the jacket, the hats, and having that Texas on there. That's the one that you really remember. And all the other hats that I said, are they nice? Sure. But I definitely, to your point, I'm just rounding about that synopsis of the one that really matters is the championship. And so, are you really worried about the NFC North? Yes, but no. But we want that ultimate goal. And I think everybody, as a Packer fan, will bypass that NFC North championship for the big one.
So you just want a chance to have a chance.
Correct.
What's the recent history? We've been kings of the NFC and done nothing in the playoffs. Why do I care about that? It's nice to have it.
But I still want the home field.
Oh, sure. I do.
I hear you. They've also done it the other way and haven't done right. I mean, 2010 is 14 years ago at this point. I think you want to make it as easy as you can on yourself.
Yeah.
And if the ultimate goal of this team is to win a championship,
absolutely,
winning 3 games on the road is incredibly tough. Yes, you guys did it in 2010, but it doesn't happen that often. There's a reason for that, because it's really hard to do. Make it easy on yourself, win that division, get a home game or 2. If you only have to go on the road once, it's easier to reach the championship round.
Yeah, and it looks like the number 1 seed will either hail from the NFC North or the NFC East at this point in the season, right? The NFC West and NFC South falling a little bit behind in terms of wins. Either Washington or Philadelphia or Detroit or Green Bay likely going to be the 1 seed in the NFC. So a win today would be huge for Green Bay as they continue to stride for that 1 seed. Let's just make it easy. I hear your point, right? We've been 1 seed several times the last decade, haven't done much with it. You still want to be the 1 seed rather than the 6 seed or the 5 seed.
For the fans, they love that, right?
Right.
I sat here in 1996 and got to see 2 amazing games. First, San Francisco with Steve Young, and then the Carolina Panthers, which I think they were down like 13-0 or 14-0. And I cried at the end of both of those games because we were going back to the Super Bowl all the way back to the 60s. It was a big moment, and I still remember watching you at the end of that game in Dallas. That's one of the biggest moments of my life, not only because my wife broke her wrist at the Super Bowl, but there's a picture of you hanging on my wall in my Packers shrine. I'm pretty sure there's not a picture of me hanging on your wall. So that's why I appreciate it.
You don't know that for sure. Jared,
I don't know that for sure.
Maybe he's a big fan of the political
Maybe
blowout.
he is.
I don't know if he is or not.
He's a big fan of the city of Oak Creek.
There you go.
He has every mayor in Oak Creek's history on his wall.
That would be
right
weird
there.
to head on that.
For sure.
He's just got
I can get you one if you want one.
Okay. Oak Creek Shrine. Autographed or no? Or does he have to pay for that?
Autographed.
Okay.
To the best.
Okay, well, I am holding you to this. Next home game, if you do not bring an autographed Steve Scafidi photo for Jared Bush, it will be.
My wife's just shaking her head out there all because you know who's going to do the work. She's
she's just shaking her head saying, "Don't inflate his ego anymore, please, please."
I love it.
All right, before we let you go, Steve Scafidi, Political Power Hour.
Yeah.
Pretty quiet week for you this upcoming week. Final thoughts: Packers Lions.
I like our chances. Obviously, we're playing a very talented team, top 4 in the NFL. I've been right on the Packers score for like the last 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, you have been.
This is going to be a high-scoring game, even with these crazy conditions. I like the Packers 35-32 or some crazy thing. Maybe there's a safety in there somewhere. I just like their chances. I rarely ever go against the Packers, and I'm not going to do it today because we're at Lambeau Field. We'll see what happens.
I just hope it doesn't look like Vikings game earlier in the year. That's the only thing I hope for.
Hell of a second half.
Or the Detroit game last year when Detroit came to town.
Yes.
Now, I will point out, Steve, you are a season ticket holder, I must ask.
Yes.
Because when you look outside at the parking lot to our right, I'm seeing a lot of powder blue.
Yeah.
When you sell your tickets, which I don't think you do often.
No.
Do you ever...
Yeah, they always go to Packers fans.
Okay, good.
I don't sell to... out-of-state team.
I've been on a lecture the last few weeks. I filled in a couple weeks ago on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy with Gabe, weekday morning 7 to 9 here on ESPN Milwaukee. And he called me a gold package snob. This is a gold package game.
Yes.
What are we doing, people?
It's not 1987. It's 2024. A lot of these people sell their tickets online. And guess what happens when you sell online? You don't know who you're selling to.
Well, can we fix that?
No.
Okay, idea though. We can make $1 million business. You have to verify your fandom. You can only buy tickets at home games from certain fans. We can make that business, guys. No,
let me put it this way: the Packers,
Jared, you're an entrepreneur.
They're tracking where your tickets are going.
I agree with you. I'm not sure how you're going to make that filter.
Let's make an app, Jared,
and make it verifiable.
Yeah, we can find a way. We can find
a way. Figure outable. I get it. I love it.
I'm just trying to be an entrepreneur like our guy Jared Bush. All right, Steve, appreciate the time, buddy. Enjoy the game.
Thanks for letting me hang out.
Rob Demovsky, ESPN NFL Nation reporter covering the Packers, will join us coming up next. Gabe Neitzel, Jared Bush, Alex Strofe hanging out with you. It's Green Bay Game Day presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Career politician Tammy Baldwin wasted trillions of dollars and created crushing inflation. Baldwin opened our borders and gave taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants. And she voted to put men in girls' sports. Enough is enough. Businessman Eric Hovde will stop inflation, secure the border, and defend our Wisconsin values. Here's Eric Hovde.
You have a clear choice in this election. Senator Baldwin is a 38-year career politician. I'm a businessman and job creator. She supports taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. I'll close the border. Tammy wants to put guys in girls' sports and in their bathrooms. I'll protect our daughters. Senator Baldwin abuses the political system. I'll fight the corruption. I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Beyond the bottle, Tito's has gained a reputation for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's and learn more at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. If you're looking for a truly unique luxury SUV, look no further than the new Range Rover Sport at Land Rover Waukesha.
The new Range Rover Sport SUV provides power, performance, sporting luxury, and all the latest technology and connectivity you want, plus the most luxurious ride.
And now is a great time to get an offer like this.
Get 3.9% special APR financing for up to 48 months on a new 2024 Range Rover Sport at Land Rover Waukesha. Go to LandRoverWaukesha.com.
Homer here to tell you about Rawhide Youth Services. Co-founded in 1965 by Bart and Cherry Starr, Rawhide is a faith-based nonprofit that helps thousands of youth every year, many right here in Milwaukee, overcome trauma, suicidal thoughts, and live better lives. For youth who are hurting, who feel lost or abandoned, and families feeling powerless to help them, Rawhide is there to help. They also need vehicle donations to support their mission of helping hurting youth transform their future. Donate to Rawhide Youth Services. Visit rawhide.org/donate.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See AssociatedBank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Save big money on your next project right now at Menards. Transform the look of your home with a new ideal garage door. Garage doors have one of the highest return on investment on your home's value. Choose from our large in-stock selection or design your own using our free Garage Door Designer. Save big on ideal garage doors. And don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, rolls on live from rainy Green Bay. Going to be interesting conditions here. Packers-Lions, first-place game in the NFC North. Alex Stroh, Gabe Neitzel, Super Bowl champion Jared Bush hanging out with you. And joining us now from inside Lambeau Field is the great Rob Demovsky. Bold, bald, beautiful, covering the Packers for ESPN. What's up, Rob? How are you?
I'm good, Alex. How are you?
I am lovely. How's your groin feeling?
I don't think it really matters how mine is feeling, does it?
Fair point. I don't know that I've ever asked a grown man that question. However, Rob Demovsky did ask a grown man that question this week when talking to the quarterback, Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Sounds like he will go today. Rob, is it going to be a skeleton of Jordan Love? Is it going to be 80% of Jordan Love? What do you expect from the quarterback if he goes today?
Boy, what little we saw at practice on Thursday when they did some sort of play-action rollout stuff, not like 11 on 11 or anything, he definitely was moving more gingerly than Malik Willis was. Now, that was the first time he had been on the field. He didn't practice Wednesday, and we didn't see Friday's practice, but, I mean, it seemed to me like he was moving a little bit carefully. Now, maybe he was just trying to figure out what he could do and how it felt, or ease himself into the week. But I don't know that I would expect him to be running boots and keepers and all this, left and right all afternoon. And I'm sure the conditions probably don't help, although they did just take the tarp off the field, and it looks great right now. There's a light drizzle coming down, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a very interesting thing to see if Jordan Love is more stationary or he can move. Look, he's a good enough quarterback. Matt LaFleur said it this week. Can he win games from staying in the pocket? Absolutely he can. And, we all like to compare things to previous quarterbacks around here, but what was it, 2014 when Rodgers had the calf injury and could barely move and beat Dallas in the playoff game, I think it was. So he just, it's not ideal, but I don't think it's disastrous.
So we know all the signs pointing towards him playing. Same thing with Josh Jacobs. But with the conditions that we have, Rob, is he going to be limited in any sort of way? Because you would think that this could be a game where they try to get him 20-plus touches as well.
Yeah, I think the good thing about Jacobs, Gabe, is that it was an ankle sprain. This isn't a muscle thing. Like, it's, I'm not saying one injury is easier than the other, but I don't know that necessarily – he's going to come up lame with an injury again, re-injuring it, I guess, if it was a muscle injury. I'm sure they'll tape that thing up pretty solidly, and my guess is he'll be okay to go. And I mean, this is exactly the kind of game that you want a Josh Jacobs. That's why you signed a Josh Jacobs, a workhorse running back that gets tough yards. He's got the second most yards rushing after contact this season in the league, behind only one guy. And it's probably the guy you would expect, the most bruising back in the game, and that's Derrick Henry. Otherwise, Josh Jacobs has more yards after contact than anybody in the league this year.
Rob, Jared Bush here. How you doing?
Good, JB. How are you?
Good. Fantastic. Now that Jordan Love having this groin, did you see any hiccup with his MCL or in his knee brace? And do you think that Matt LaFleur is very aware of his limitations and as well as just educating him on how to survive, kind of how Pat Mahomes survived with his ankle in the Super Bowl?
It's a great question with the knee, because we actually asked Love this week, does he think that the knee injury had anything to do with the groin? And he goes, I've never had a groin injury at all. Like, he's never had one. So this is all new to him. But in terms of comparing it, in terms of it being caused by the knee injury, Love said, look, it definitely could be a factor. I don't really know because I've never had this. He called it an annoying injury. So those are that's what muscular injuries are. I can guarantee you, Jarrett, that Matt LaFleur has got on his call sheet a category or a list of plays that he can run if he thinks Love's mobility is limited, and then the section of the call sheet where there are no issues. So they definitely went into this game, fully prepared to play both kinds of football games. There's, and then on top of that, maybe more than any week previously, they have to go into it with a Malik Love section of plays, or Malik Willis, section of plays. Now I will say this, from talking to the offensive coordinator, Adam Stenovich, and some of the people around here, the gap between what Malik Willis can run and what Jordan Love can run is shrinking. So, it's a credit to Malik Willis.
Rob Demovsky hanging out with us here on Green Bay Game Day, live just outside of Lambeau Field. Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, Super Bowl champ Jarrett Bush. So let's go to the defensive backfield, Rob, and we'll talk with Jarrett about this coming up next segment. Yeah. But no Evan Williams, and it's a questionable for Jair Alexander. I want to start with Williams, though, because it seemed like last week against Jacksonville, when he left that game, it made a severe impact on that defense. How big of a loss is this against Detroit for Green Bay?
Yeah, I think it's big because, Alex, it's not just replacing one guy. There's a trickle-down effect with him. He had settled into that safety role next to Xavier McKinney, which had allowed Javon Bullard to go play the nickel. So now Bullard's got to go back and play safety. You've got to probably put Keyshawn Nixon back inside at nickel, where he has been playing pretty darn well on the outside, and then now are you down to what, Eric Stokes and Carrington Valentine on the outside potentially, or maybe they leave Nixon outside. We'll see about that, but it's not just replacing one guy because of Evan Williams, and obviously Jair, as well. I would be surprised if Jair goes. I mean, he didn't practice all week, but he have not heard anything. We've heard that Evan Williams is out. We've heard that Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs are a go. That could mean Jair is maybe going to give it a shot here before inactives have to come out in about an hour or so. But I would be surprised if Jair plays.
As Jarrett Bush's agent, I am going to give a call to Brian Gutekunst right now, see if he can sign him real quick, get him elevated to the active roster.
Well, heck, they could probably use him on special teams, too, because Detroit's got some dangerous return guys, right? I mean, they got some dangerous special team stuff.
For sure.
They've been known to throw some fakes in there, too. So
hope you've been working out, JB.
I have. Hey, put me at free safety. Hey, I'll make sure everybody's lined up in the right spot, and if somebody breaks away, I can drag them down. I'm hitting the bikes. I'm running like 3 miles, every morning.
Yes.
So I'm feeling pretty good about myself.
Just like Super Bowl 45, right?
For sure. For sure.
Rob, is there any way to improve this pass rush outside of making a move on Tuesday?
Oh, you know what? I do think there is without making a move, and it has to be sort of the plan that we saw a couple weeks ago, where they just send different guys. Where Jeff Hafley not necessarily sends 5 and 6, but sends 4, but sends 1 or 2 guys that you wouldn't normally expect to rush. You can scheme pass rush to an extent to make up for a lack of guys just being able to go dominate one-on-one or one-on-2 in some of the cases. I don't think it's like if they don't add a pass rusher, they have no chance. Certainly, I think, at this point, pass rusher and corner might be things that Brian Gutekunst might look to do. It's so hard to make these deals. There's very few of them for a reason. We always sit here and talk about the days leading up to it. Like, every team's going to trade for this guy or that guy. And in the end, there's usually, a handful, maybe 5, 6 deals done on that day of the trade deadline Tuesday. So it's probably more likely than not that they don't make a move, but I don't think that means they can't get after the quarterback the rest of the year.
Is there any chance they feel pressure to? Because you take a look at all these other teams.
I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah. All these other teams, that are kind of at that level the Packers are. The Kansas City Chiefs have made a couple of different moves.
Bills.
The Bills go out and get something that they need in a wide receiver.
Vikings.
The Vikings go out and make teams are making moves now. Yeah. Is there a little bit of pressure of, oh man, we got to do something so we can keep up and make sure we're keeping pace with some of these teams that we think we're as good as?
It's a really good question. My answer would be that Brian Gutekunst hasn't shown a penchant for doing that before, right? He did not do that a couple of years ago when everybody thought they needed to add something. So I would suspect that it's a question of not whether he thinks he needs to do something to keep up with somebody. It's to whether he has a glaring hole on his roster that's going to prevent them from, going all the way this year. My feeling is that because they're relatively healthy and because he thinks he put together a pretty good roster, that, again, it's probably more likely than not that they don't make a move, but certainly not out of the question.
Rob, before we let you go, the last thing I always ask you, this is a unique one between the conditions, the injuries, first place on the line. It's going to be an interesting one. How do you see this one playing out?
Alex, I tweeted this. I can't remember if we talked about this earlier in the week on any of the shows, but this is the first outdoor game that the Lions will have played all season.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. And it's a poor condition type of game. I think that gives the Packers an edge. I really, really do. The way the Packers are going, I'm inclined to say that they somehow find a way to pull this off and go into the bye week basically what it would be in a virtual tie for first place in the division. So I'm leaning toward the Packers at this point.
Congrats on getting your Twitter account back, by the way.
Yeah, great point by you. Yeah.
I think that happened sometime when you were overseas, Gabe. So we're back up and running.
Yeah, we've got Gabe back on the show, and Rob's got his Twitter account back. All is well in the world here in Green Bay. Love to see it. Rob Demovsky, ESPN NFL Nation reporter. Appreciate the time as always, brother. We'll be talking to you later in the week.
All right, stay dry. We'll be seeing you.
I am wearing my TikTok rain jacket today. I ordered this for $7 off the TikTok shop.
Oh.
So far, so good.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Well, I mean, it helps that we're in, the Pella Windows and Doors mobile studio.
That's true, but I was out walking around. I was talking to people, shaking hands, kissing babies as I do, and yeah.
You look really dry, bud.
I'm doing my best. I'm also wearing 2 sweatshirts underneath, so I'm bundled up. I'm going to the game.
You're layered.
So I'm layered up. I'm wearing sweatpants under my jeans. I'm wearing 2 pairs of socks. I'm good to go, baby.
Yeah.
Jarrett's ready to play. I'm ready to fan.
For sure.
So that's what we want to see. All right, about 15 minutes left in the first hour of Green Bay Game Day. Coming up next, I do want to talk defensive backfield, and who better to talk about it with than a defensive back, and Jarrett Bush. Evan Williams out, Jair Alexander questionable. We will talk about the defensive backfield the Packers will be trotting out there today against the Detroit Lions. Coming up next, it's Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, right here on ESPN Milwaukee.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. It's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee, and with holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust AccuTrans Group to handle all of my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or festive celebration, AccuTrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucs game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucs in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucs in 6 on the Bucs Plus Audio Network. Find it now on Bucs.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we're the cold weather experts, offering unbeatable deals on the gear and supplies you need to get ready for winter. Like 30% off all zero exposure outerwear for the family. 50-foot yellow jacket extension cords are over half off, just $32.99. 15% off assorted Hillman hardware. And Red Devil caulk and construction adhesives, 20% off. Plus, check out unbeatable toy deals in Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland, now open.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Here's what Tammy Baldwin thinks about President Trump and you.
Donald Trump might be one of the most offensive and hateful and unacceptable presidential candidates we've ever had. So what does that say about the people who support him?
Tammy Baldwin is a liberal snob. Vote her out.
I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
Swing into action to experience Sweetgrass and Sage Run in 2025. The Island Resort and Casino stay and play packages are a hole-in-one. By blending award-winning golf with exceptional amenities, we've become the premier resort destination in the Midwest. But don't wait. These popular packages fill up fast. To book your 2025 golf getaway and secure your spot on the green, visit islandresortgolf.com today.
Have you seen them yet?
Seen what?
4 different ways to say I love you.
I'd love to see those. Show me the list.
What list?
The list of 4 different ways to say I love you.
Let's start over.
Where are you going, Monica?
I'm going to get the 4 different ways to say I love you.
Sarah, imagine a box of assorted chocolates.
Okay.
When you open the lid, what do you see?
I see a guy sitting on a park bench saying, life is like a box of chocolates.
But what are the shapes of the chocolates?
There are 4 different shapes.
Here they are.
Those are gorgeous.
4 diamond pendants covered in diamonds.
Almost like they were dipped in diamonds.
And each diamond was created inside a miniature star.
But you'd have to be rich to afford one of these.
Choose the diamond pendant you like best. $148.
I love Kessler's.
Everyone loves Kessler's.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Winter weather is on the way, and that means salt, snow, and grime on your car. ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here. Now's the time to protect your vehicle with a premium wash at Tsunami Express Car Wash. State-of-the-art technology, powerful free vacuums, and unlimited wash memberships. Keep your car looking spotless all season long. Tsunami Express has 5 convenient locations all across greater Milwaukee, making it easy to give your ride the care it deserves. Sign up for a membership at TsunamiExpress.com and get your first wash free. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
Welcome back to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, rolls on live just outside of Lambeau Field. 50 degrees or so, maybe a little below. Rainy, sprinkly more than rainy. I'm not a meteorologist. I'm going to stop while I'm ahead. Alex Strofe, Game Night's Super Bowl champ, Jared Bush, hanging out with you. How'd I do in that weather report, JB? Pretty good?
Fantastic, bud. Hey, this is football weather. We love it as football players, especially being in frozen tundra.
Yeah.
We know that quarterback. I know Matt Stafford a couple times. He go back to pass, as well as Arizona Cardinals. Warm climate quarterbacks. That ball can flip out at any moment. And so you got to be ready. You got to be ready to jump on any type of ball, because I think those warm weather climate teams are not ready. And I think they fall in the same category because they're a dome team. Right. So they definitely fail. I'm looking forward to it.
I think it's only 3. It might be 4 outdoor games this year. It's Green Bay, Chicago, San Francisco. Is that right?
That is correct. Those are the 3 outdoor
Is Houston
games.
Outdoors?
Retractable roof.
Yeah.
Oh,
so they can
okay.
open and
Gotcha. But it is grass, right? In Houston?
I believe so.
At
yes.
NRG Stadium? Okay. So 3.5 outdoor games, I guess.
But what's crazy about me, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, JB, when it comes to having the proper footwear on a day like today. It's still shocking to me to watch team after team after team come into Lambeau Field and not wear the right footwear, not have the right cleats on. You see the opponent slip more than the Packers. You got access to the field. Get out there, figure this out. Why do other teams struggle so much to make sure they've got, hey, because I've seen so many defensive backs or wide receivers try to play with the molded cleat, especially on a day like today, and that's just not going to work.
Yeah, great question. I definitely feel, I think this lack of experience. I think because the Packers play on it during the season, and as well as the testimonies from other veteran players to pass on that testimony, like, hey, these are the studs that play on Lambeau. No other team has that. And so I think it's just the testimonials, that little black book of what to do while you're playing against Lambeau or maybe the Green Bay Packers. I think some people are just what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And so if that includes footwear, well, it's for our advantage.
Well, again, it seems like coaching staffs and everybody just pays attention to every little detail, and yet that detail just gets largely ignored by a lot of teams that come in to Lambeau Field.
Yeah, I think it's a trial and error thing, and I think once you're in the game, I think you're not really thinking about how you win the game versus your footwear. But I don't think they really emphasize it. I think for us, definitely feel like it's a cornerstone for the Packers to be able to use that as an advantage. I don't think other teams use that as a cornerstone in their success. I think there are a million other things on their list to why that they can beat the Green Bay Packers.
Whew. I'm nervous.
Are you okay?
I'm nervous.
Okay.
But it's not like we're going to get smoked nervous.
Yeah,
it's more
do well.
like I'm excited nervus.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Is that a thing?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Probably what you felt going into the Super Bowl. Excited nervous.
Oh, my gosh.
Understatement?
Understatement. I remember my coach, Chad Morton, and I think that opening cookout, he's like, JB, man, your eyes are like wide like a little kid.
Time out. Opening cookout?
Sorry, kickoff. Sorry, cookout.
You hungry or what? You got your food from Saz's behind you.
I'm looking at my teeth. I still have the macaroni and cheese. The lady had macaroni and cheese mixed in fusion with bacon.
Oh, yeah.
Man, might I add. So, excuse my cookout terminology.
I was like, what?
Let's go check that out.
And that first punt, and I actually missed it, and it dribbled into the end zone. He was like, JB, dude, your eyes are so wide open, dude. Like, hey, let's bring it down just a notch. So, says, hey, you want to do well, and so did I at that moment.
All right, let's go back to the shoes conversation and the obviously the conditions conversation. Earlier this week, Dan Campbell on 97 won the ticket in Detroit. You could just take a listen to the Q&A that he had on 97 won the ticket earlier this week.
Dan, what's your message to the team and the guys as you guys gear up for the Green Bay game this week?
Shoes. That's the message. The right shoes. We're going to Lambeau. It's grass. It's a nationally televised game. 325 Central for the division. Second divisional game. It just doesn't get any better than this. So what else do I need to say?
Not much, Dan. Not much. It's Dan Campbell at 97 won the ticket earlier this week. Hey, Gabe.
Yeah.
Shoes.
I feel like, I'm talking about it too much, but it just seems insane to me that other teams aren't as prepared as they should be when they come into Lambeau Field, because you see guys slip even when it's dry conditions. We saw it earlier this year with teams, and it just seems like that gets emphasized even more when you're, even though it's, sprinkling or whatever you want to call it, drizzling outside, weatherman Strofe, but...
Meteorologist?
It's meteorologist Strofe.
Thank you.
Put
some respect to my name.
Yeah, I apologize. But, this is going to be happening over the next couple of hours before game time. That field is going to get wet. This is going to be keeping up for the rest of the afternoon. It's something that you're going to have to deal with. It's something that's going to be, I think, a factor in this game.
That is the world-famous Gabe Neitzel. This is the Super Bowl champion, Jared Bush. I am the cheesehead, Alex Strofe, hanging out with you here on Green Bay Game Day. No Evan Williams at safety. Jair Alexander questionable. Jared Goff not good outside, but still a good quarterback, and feels like he's thrown like 3 incompletions all season. How concerning is that for the Packers' defensive backfield, defensive back Jared Bush?
It is crucial. Alex, I think Jair definitely brings a different dynamic. Even though he's small in stature, I think he definitely is the most aggressive defensive back that we have, as well as ball hawk, as well as the most confident / arrogant. And so I definitely feel that he is the most competitive guy that's on that field, besides next to Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs. So you definitely need him on the football field. What I've seen is that there are a ton of uncontested catches from our opponents, and so therefore we're not making it closer to the ball as defensive backs. I think it's there's too much space between the defensive backs as well as the receivers. I think Jair adds that component of closeness and wanting to be competitive within that catch.
Well, you mentioned his size. I feel like against bigger receivers like we saw against Philadelphia, maybe he struggles against an A.J. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown isn't the biggest guy. I feel like that's a better matchup for Jair, and if he ends up not playing, I think that really hurts.
Yeah, definitely. Anytime I think Jair is one of the best corners in the league, as well as I think with his confidence, as well as his awareness, as well as ball-making skills, playmaking skills. So I definitely feel that, we are a little lesser without him, and we are definitely more prolific with him.
Well, and the thing that really hurts Strofe is no Evan Williams, because Williams has forced his way onto the field with the way he played earlier this year.
Terrific start to his rookie year,
and then they drop Bullard down to the slot, so that kind of moves some things around cornerback-wise. Stokes hasn't played well. If Jair doesn't play, you're probably going to need Stokes. You're probably going to need Valentine because Nixon makes more sense in the slot at that point if you're moving Javon Bullard back to safety, which is what they're going to have.
Well, let's play a game of good news, bad news, Gabe.
Okay.
Which one do you want first?
Give me the good news.
No Jamison Williams for Detroit because he is suspended.
Yeah, okay. What's the bad news?
Amon-Ra St. Brown still exists.
Yeah, he's still pretty good. And Laporte is very good. They've got really good weapons in Detroit.
This is going to be such a good football game.
Yeah.
Oh,
my goodness.
This is what you want in the middle of your season. This is, again, I guess I'm not as nervous as you are, just because there's still so much.
I don't want to lose,
season.
but obviously there's a lot of season left.
Yeah, there's still so much season left. I look at this game of, okay, if you lose, is it going to sting a little bit? Yeah, it's going to sting, certainly.
For sure.
But there's still so much of the season left. You have another game against the Detroit Lions. I'm just excited because I feel if they win this game, they just put themselves in such a position, standings-wise. I think the way that everybody looks at this team from a national perspective heading into your bye they're already starting to gain that recognition.
Right.
You win this game against the Detroit Lions, who everybody thinks is the best team in the NFC right now, and suddenly you're the best team in the NFC.
Right.
All of a sudden, you climb up those power rankings, which you hear each and every Tuesday on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. 8 games going on in the NFL right now. Kirk Cousins, 2 touchdown passes, has the Falcons in front of the Cowboys, who are all of a sudden very bad. 14-3 the score in that one. Tua Tagovailoa back for the Dolphins. He's got a touchdown. The Dolphins have a lead on the Bills, 10-3. Raiders, Bengals knotted up at 7 each. Chargers, Browns. Jim Harbaugh has Los Angeles, almost as San Diego in front, 7-3 over the Browns. Titans lead the Patriots in the Toilet Bowl, 7-0 in that one. Commanders over the Giants, 14-7 midway through the second quarter. Panthers have a 1-point lead on the Saints in an NFC South matchup, 7-6. And the Ravens leading the Broncos right now, 10-7. Tight one in that one, nearing halftime out in Baltimore. Those are your scores of the current games going on in the NFL. It's Green Bay Game Day. Alex Strope, Gabe Neitzel, and Super Bowl champion Jarrett Bush hanging out with you. Coming up next on Green Bay Game Day, it's the Jason Wilde Hour. Jason Wilde, 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, will join us for the entire 1 o'clock hour. We'll play a little yes or no. We'll have the injury report just under an hour from right now. 1:55 today is the official injury report. We will likely see Jordan Love. Josh Jacobs good to go. We'll find out the fate of Jair Alexander. That all still ahead here on Green Bay Game Day, which is brought to you in part by Tito's. Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. Distilled 6 times till it's just right, Tito's is known for great vodka, giving back and doing good for dogs. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly. The Jason Wilde Hour is next. It's Green Bay Game Day right here on ESPN Milwaukee.
More Green Bay Game Day coming up on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
I'm here with Dr. Daniel Holub at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doctor, let's say someone is feeling some pain. That pain, it just will not go away. What's the next thing that person should do?
Get an appointment with one of the specialists at Orthopedic Associates, and we will work through that problem with you.
In your position, you help people get rid of pain. You help them be able to move and be active again. How rewarding is it for you to really see someone regain a certain quality of life?
That's got to be the best part of my job, is seeing somebody that's been struggling either for a short time with a fresh injury or a long time with a degenerative condition, and being able to find a proper solution for them, whether it's just a rehabilitation process or if it's a surgical process, and watching them over the course of weeks to months improve to the point of enjoying life again.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sporked called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian, taste what all the screamin' is about.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
There's a good chance you're on a budget. We all are. But she wants a diamond. You know it. I know it. And Robert Hack Diamonds knows it too, because they offer a huge collection of lab-grown diamonds, and they sell them at crazy prices. How about 2-carat total weight diamond studs for $8.95? Robert Hack Diamonds can get any size, shape, or clarity in natural or lab-grown diamonds. Don't buy until you call Robert Hack Diamonds. $8.95 for a 2-carat pair of diamond studs. Oh, baby! Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield and in Brookfield. Why overspend when you can save at Robert Hack Diamonds for the same diamond you're looking for? Some jewelers are charging nearly $5,000 for a lab-grown diamond. Not Robert Hack. Your visit will be worth it, and she'll think so too. Robert Hack also offers repair services and cash for your old gold. But remember, before you do anything, as I did, RobertHackDiamonds.com, and visit them in Brookfield or in Greenfield.
Get everything for your next project today at Menards and save big money. Right now, all stock outlets with USB charging ports are on sale. Ditch the need for bulky USB adapters. Upgrade your home with features like ultra-fast charging, allowing you to charge your smart devices up to 40% faster than standard USB outlets. View our weekly flyer on Menards.com and check out all the great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Whether you're about to graduate high school or have been in the workforce for years, it's time to take control of your future. Welcome to Lakeland University, where you call the shots. We use our flexible learning formats to customize your degree path. In-person, online, and virtual classes are all available. Lakeland University is designed around you, your goals, your schedule, your future. You can even earn up to 25% of your degree via paid work experiences. Ready to take control of your future? Let us customize an education to fit your needs. Visit lakeland.edu/ESPN to learn more.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle Brust and Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Party people!
It's time to get this tailgate started and get you ready for the green and gold game. This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
Broadcasting live from the shadow of the South End Zone at Lambeau Field.
Alongside Gabe Neitzel and Super Bowl champion Jared Bush,
Here's Alex Stroh.
Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Rolls out hour number 2, as always, the Jason Wilde Hour. 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, host of Wilde and Tausch. Jason Wilde joins us now at the Tundra Trio, just outside of Lambeau Field. Big one today, Jason. Big game feel here at Lambeau Field.
It is a big one. And I'm with Rob. I think the Packers find a way today, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays
we're
out.
not saving your prediction for the end.
Well, I just wanted to get it out of the way so we can talk about important things.
Well, let's talk about important things. Let's talk about groins. How's yours feeling?
Mine feels great. It was a lovely walk from Lot 17. Walked by some interesting characters and some interesting
Define that for us.
Nope.
Okay, got it.
But it was a nice walk. I feel great. I feel energized. I'm ready for what I would say is their biggest measuring stick game of the season. But even if they don't win this game at home, there's a part of me that thinks that they will still find a way to win this division. So we'll have to wait and see how the rest of the season plays out.
Wow. You are fully in on the Green Bay Packers of 2024.
Well, I'm not picking them to win the Super Bowl yet. I'm just saying that
you're picking them to win the toughest division in the NFL. That's a pretty good sign.
Rob Demovsky, who you listened to, I listened to on my drive over. You listened to while you were talking to him on the phone. He and I were talking about this on Thursday, and I'm glad he brought it up because it is unbelievable to me that the Detroit Lions, as Mike McCarthy would say, play 3 outdoor games all year. That is unbelievable to me. That the schedule, obviously they play inside, so that would take care of whatever 8 or 9 of their games.
Yep. 9 of 17.
But the fact that it's San Francisco,
and
it's Chicago, that those are their only games outdoors. I'll be really interested to see, can they get the number 1 seed so they're home all the way through? Because if they're not, I'll be curious to see if they're good enough to get to that first Super Bowl in their history.
That'd be correct.
Last title in 57. So, look, this is a really interesting game. I've been looking forward to it all week, and I can't wait to see how the weather factors in and how Jordan Love's health factors in.
Well, how careful are they going to have to be with him? because we saw, I think of the calf injury that Aaron Rodgers had in 2014. They did, things out of the pistol formation to try to survive and make an NFC Championship game that year. With this offense, they love to do the stretch zone run, marry that off the play action, and they can get some big plays out of that. Are they limited there? Are they going to be able to do those things? What's your feel?
Look, I think they can run whatever they want to run out of the shotgun and out of the pistol. I mean, look, they've essentially run, I don't know what the percentage is at this point, but most of the season, because of his knee, they've run most of his snaps out of the shotgun or out of the pistol. Now, when they have been more effective is when they've been under center and they've been able to do more of their play action stuff. So, again, the situation may dictate that they can't be under center as much as they would like to be, because I would preemptively agree with you that they're better off when they're under center.
Well, the next chain reaction to that is your starting center is doubtful. So you're going to have a center who is not as experienced as Josh Myers because he has played every single game.
It'll be Elton Jenkins, right, over Zach Tom?
It'll definitely be Elton Jenkins if it's not Josh Myers.
But I think that those shotgun exchanges become a little more. Okay, if he has a loose one or two because it's wet, because it's rainy, I think
because he doesn't do it as often.
Correct.
Right. Yeah. Again, but what is the alternative? I mean, in theory, you're still at risk too with bobbled exchanges under center, right? And the weather. I mean, this is nothing compared to what I was looking at on the predicted radar. I mean, it's going to rain a heck of a lot harder than it is right now, and I think, again, I hate to agree with Rob because
just on a general principle.
Yeah, but I think if there's someone who is favored by the less than ideal conditions, it's the home team. But those points are both very valid. I was thinking back. I was talking to Craig Karmazin this morning on Sunday Karma. I was thinking back to what Rodgers used to say about the things that affect his ability to play quarterback. It wasn't rain. It wasn't snow. It wasn't cold weather. It was wind. He always talked about it was just the wind. And so if the wind is not a major factor today, is Jordan Love able to be effective throwing the football in heavy downpours? I thought it was fascinating that Matt LaFleur, I was very happy that it was also a practice that started while we were still on the air on Wilde and Tausch, so I didn't have to stand in it at all. But I thought it was fascinating that he stayed out there for the rain at practice on Thursday. JB played in this league a long time. Most coaches pull the plug. And this is the second time now. He did it in training camp once, and now he did it during the regular season where he kept his guys out there in an absolute downpour. Does that help them today? I guess we'll have to see.
Well, JB, what say you? Does that help, right? Practicing in it gets you ready for the game conditions, I would imagine.
Yeah. And, growing up in the NFL in 2006 and to what it is now, as well as the CBA agreement, I think Wilde can attest it's a little bit easier, I guess, to say it kindly, going from double days and now to, like, quote-unquote, like a pro glide or like a fluff day and then a second full day of practice versus like two head-to-head full padded practices. And so that has changed. And so I think in more ways than not, I think it's definitely gotten a lot more lenient to protecting the players when something along those lines could jeopardize the player's health versus, I think, let them adapt. Let them adapt to the natural current conditions that may occur during a football game, because you might have to endure that as a player. And so I think being able to adapt to something like that definitely causes you to learn and grow, as well as to, as men, right, we try to conquer whatever conditions or circumstances that are thrown our way.
I also thought that it was telling, and because look, when Love did not practice on Wednesday, I thought, okay, I didn't think he would practice, but the fact that he definitely didn't made me wonder, okay, is it a little less likely than we were being led to believe that he would go?
Yeah.
The fact that he, and again, we don't know how many 11-on-11 reps he took, but the fact that he stayed out there in a downpour and continued to practice, even if it was somewhat gingerly, like we all saw the game in Brazil. It wasn't raining. It was slippery, though, on that field. And you saw he went to plant at one point in the game, and his back leg went out from under him. And I do find myself wondering, both the fact that he got through the practice is encouraging, but do slippery conditions lend themselves to an aggravation of that groin injury? The good thing is I have to think they spent the week running both stuff that they can run with Love and stuff that they can run with Malik Willis. And as Rob put it, I shouldn't have listened to Rob because he took all the good stuff. The space in between what they had to run with Willis early in the season and what they can run with Love, that has shrunk to some degree. I still think there's a pretty large, gulch in between those things.
Good word.
Snidler's Gulch. That's my old, I don't know if that was Sesame Street or the electric company, but there's definitely a space still. And whether or not they have to make that change. So, here's my question, and I asked this to Craig this morning. What if Love is hobbling around like he was in Jacksonville under these conditions? They did not take Jordan Love out. Yep. Jordan Love took himself out. Is Matt LaFleur going to be willing to say, look, you are not moving the way you need to. We got a bye coming up. We're not going to risk you anymore. Or is he going to have carte blanche to say, I'm playing until I can't play?
Yeah, it's a fair point and a fair question, but I guess I'd turn it back on you, right? They have one of the most, if not the most conservative medical staff in all the league. You know this very personally, right, with Dr. Pat McKenzie. I don't think they're putting him out there if he's quote-unquote hobbling around, but I imagine you're asking that in terms of if it gets to that point.
He drops back to throw, and I mean, if you look at the way the series of events that leads to him actually coming out of the game last week, right? He kind of tries to move subtly within the pocket. You could see him kind of wince, and then he gets bumped by Warren after the play is over, and now he couldn't make it to the sideline to come out of the game. He dropped down before he got there. So all I'm saying is if you see him hobbling the way he was on one leg after completing a pass to Tucker Kraft in that game, and you know that he's, if he's not as effective as he normally would, and you're concerned about the conditions, is Matt LaFleur going to pull him? And from the Dr. McKenzie perspective that I'm not advocating for Matt LaFleur to pull him and put in Malik Willis because I'm like, Mr. Malik Willis deserves a chance to start. We have a quarterback. That's not what I'm saying. But sometimes you have to protect players from themselves. And Doc McKenzie, again, from my own experience, can be convinced by convincing people to let people do things that they probably shouldn't, including play in a rainy game with a groin injury or running an entire cross-country season with a torn meniscus.
That would be Jason's daughter he is referring to who did that, and obviously visited with Dr. Pat McKenzie before running said cross-country season. She had a good season too, didn't she?
She had a great, she did very well. We're very proud of her, and now she's hobbling around on crutches because she pushed it.
I think if Jordan Love is hobbling around, I think Matt LaFleur pulls it. If he starts moving around the way he did at Jacksonville, I think there's a lesson learned.
That's all
there.
I'm saying, and I'm glad I have you on my team.
Yeah, I think he goes, okay, we need you. As important as today is, and Freddie Coleman, I said this earlier, Freddie Coleman on Friday called this the biggest post-Aaron Rodgers game for the Packers.
In the regular season.
Sure. That matchup against Detroit in early December could be even bigger. There are so many more opportunities left in the season. This isn't, a game with 3 games left and, okay, we're going to fight, every little bit to try to get this momentum into the postseason. We're still in early November, and I think Matt LaFleur and the Packers know, especially with the way they played in the second half last year, we don't need you healthy right now necessarily. We need you healthy
in December, in January.
After the bye. And I think they're smart enough, if he's moving around gingerly the way he was in Jacksonville, that they would pull him.
Fun words used in this segment.
Gulch. Tough to beat Gulch.
Gulch was pretty good. Yeah, that was the word of the segment.
Gulch is one on the power ranking. Yeah.
Gingerly was used a few times. It's a word you don't hear a whole heck of a lot. All right, good stuff. Let's see if we can keep it rolling. Gabe Neitzel, Super Bowl champ Jarrett Bush, Alex Stroh, 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde, hanging out with you here, the Jason Wilde Hour on Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. We will continue to preview this matchup coming up next. Also have some yes or no to play in the injury report coming up at 1:55. All still ahead in the Jason Wilde Hour right here on Green Bay Game Day.
More Green Bay Game Day coming up on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Green and gold fans, it's game day. And you know what that means. Tailgating with friends and raising a glass to our favorite team. This season, make Bacardi the star of your pregame party. Whether you're mixing up a classic Bacardi and cola, refreshing Bacardi lime and soda, or a smooth spiced and cola, Bacardi is the perfect pick for game day fun. Grab a bottle and get ready to cheer on Green Bay with the best in hand. Available now at your local retailer. Live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi USA, Miami, Florida. Rum 40% alcohol by volume.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
Here's what Tammy Baldwin thinks about President Trump and you.
Donald Trump might be one of the most offensive and hateful and unacceptable presidential candidates we've ever had. So what does that say about the people who support him?
Tammy Baldwin is a liberal snob. Voter out.
I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
Rake in a big win this November at Potawatomi. Go head-to-head in the Cash Clash game show for your share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. The Cash Clash game show at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
The kick is up and wide left.
Why don't they customize the goalposts?
Gina Della from Pella? How'd you get into the booth?
No, listen. If they made our goalposts just a little wider, and why just yellow? It's Green Bay. Add some green stripes.
Sure, Gina. Should they also remove the G at midfield and paint a Pella crest?
Okay, Wayne, I get it. You can't customize a football game to go the way you want, but Pella can customize your home the way you want. From durable materials and fold-away hardware to custom colors and ease of maintenance, backed by quality craftsmanship, energy efficiency, and warranties that will last for years.
And this has got to be the Pella Dagger.
Right now, get 0% interest for up to 60 months at PellaWI.com. Okay, now I've got popcorn and soda.
Right here.
$22.50, please.
Too bad we can't customize concession prices.
That's it. You got this, partner? I'm out of here.
Hold your appointment on or before November 8th. Certain restrictions apply.
ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel. I've spent a while telling you about Mentality because it works. Not just for me, though. Take it from fellow Mentality user Jason. He's got a new lease on life thanks to Mentality.
Process was easy. It really, truly was. And the individuals that work at Mentality, very helpful, very respectful. It was an easy out. You go in a week after, they give you the results right away. And once you find that you're able to do it, just that thought, the energy already picked up a little bit. Most of it could have been mentally wise, but knowing that, hey, I get to start this, it was incredible.
Learn more today at LowTUSA.com.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. It's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee, and with holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust AccuTrans Group to handle all of my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or festive celebration, AccuTrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
We sleep through day, then we play all through the late night. Sleep through day, then we play all through the late night.
Well, it is starting to come down here in Green Bay. The rain is turning from a sprinkle to a pour. It's going to be an interesting one. Packers-Lions coming up 3:25 kick here at Lambeau Field. It's Green Bay Game Day presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, Super Bowl champ Jarrett Bush, three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde hanging out with you just outside of rainy Lambeau Field. Whew. So, Jason, the press box is covered?
It is, yeah. There's an opening in the. Is there a? Can you close that? Or
well, we have cords running through it because we have a camera up there. that shows the Tundra Trio above our the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio here.
Well, we better be careful because I know you're collecting good words. We better watch out for a deluge that could be coming.
Whoa.
So
whoa.
Be careful out there.
Oh, God. I love when Wilde gets in his vocabulary bag. This might be a fun hour.
Three-time sports, Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year for nothing, folks.
Any words you used this week in or in an article that you're proud of?
I don't know if I used any words that I was proud of, but I was really proud of a story that ran today in the State Journal, and that was talking with I talked to roughly a dozen defensive players plus multiple assistant coaches about Jeff Hafley and the level of respect and buy-in that he has gotten. And look, this is a game where his guys are going to have to deliver. This is a team that scored 172 points over the last 4 games. So they need their defense to rise to the occasion. And, again, not to recap the Rob Demovsky half hour or whatever it is, I don't know if their pass rush is going to be sufficient today because, one of the things we talked about with Jeff Hafley during the week is how important it is to get Jared Goff off the spot. Like, Jared Goff has the second highest passer rating in the league. He is, if things are going the way they are designed and he's throwing the ball in rhythm and on time, he is one tough quarterback to beat. He will chew you up. Mm-hmm. But if you get him off schedule and off kilter and making him move around in the pocket, he's got a fumble. He's fumbled 4 times in the last 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. I know he's only got 4 interceptions, but again, I think that's because the other teams have not gotten pressure on him. Mm-hmm. Like, Gabe, this is a guy who there is a very specific lane for him to be as effective as he is. And when you get outside that lane, you have some opportunities as a defense.
Yeah, I think with Jeff Hafley, he has done everything that he has promised on, right? How many times in the the previous era with Joe Barry?
I thought you were going to mention his name.
Yeah, I thought about it, but decided might as well throw it out there. But how many times things are going to be different? It's going to be different. And Hafley comes in this offseason and says everything that me as a fan wants to. Oh, we're going to be more aggressive. Mm-hmm. We're going to be playing more. We're going to be doing this. We're going to be doing that. And he's delivered on every single aspect. Oh, we're going to take the football away.
Minus the pass rush.
But I don't even think that's on him because he's been able to scheme pass rush.
Yeah, that's
we
fair.
saw that a couple of weeks ago with all the fire zones that he ran. Mm-hmm. Now, that can't work week in and week out. Mm-hmm. Eventually, you have to have those 4 guys up front be able to generate pressure on their own. And they're paying some of those guys to be able to do that. To me, that's on them. That's not on Jeff Hafley. I think Hafley has done everything that he can. It's up to Preston Smith, Rashawn Gary, Lucas Van Ness can't get blocked one-on-one by a backup tight end. Can't do it. Can't have it. Like, they have to be better.
Yeah.
And to me, that just comes down to them as professionals. They have to figure out. I would love to know, and I don't think we're ever going to get a straight answer on what the hell happened with Rashawn Gary. Because he looked better. He's gotten worse the farther we've gotten away from his knee surgery. He was better in the first half of last year than he was in the second half, and anytime somebody's been in front of him this year, he hasn't gotten a sack. The 2 sacks he's got, one, somebody didn't get off the ball down in Brazil. Because
Lane
they thought,
Johnson.
Yeah,
yep.
Lane Johnson didn't get off the ball because he thought there was an offside or a false start, and the other sack he had, the
guy
tackle tripped and fell down. Mm-hmm. So if you put a body in front of Rashawn Gary, he's not getting a sack this year through 8 games.
That's bad.
That's not good for somebody you're paying as much as you're paying Rashawn Gary.
You're right.
Do they need to make a move this week, Gabe?
I think they do.
Trade deadline Tuesday.
I think they do. But again, really good pass rushers are hard to come by. Teams just don't give them away. They don't trade them away. I know Washington did it with a couple of guys last year in a bit of a fire sale they had with Montez Sweat and Chase Young. They traded those guys away. There could be a couple of names out there. The most significant of which is not going to come to Green Bay and Zadarius Smith.
Correct. The Lions making another phone call about him, reported earlier today by our pal Adam Schefter.
Yeah, Zadarius ain't coming back to Green Bay.
No, that door is closed.
And by the way, they don't want him back.
No, no, I don't want him back. He quit on the team.
He did.
I think he quit on the team, so I wouldn't want him back.
You think he still has his captain necklace?
I mean,
well, I'm guessing he's not a captain in Cleveland either, so you would want to keep it, wouldn't you?
But it's pretty expensive, I'm guessing. It wasn't
a lot of diamonds on that thing,
so you probably want to hold on to that.
I'll have to check Poshmark, see if it's available.
And if there is somebody of note and significance that moves and the price tag isn't that high, I'll be disappointed if the Packers don't come away with that player. But at the same time, it's really hard to find pass rushers.
Well, Jason has said it a few times this week, so I'm gonna quote Jason Wilde, who was standing right here. It's two-pronged, right? You want to stay with the pack, right? Don't get left behind, but also you want to avoid another team getting better. Maybe like Detroit, who's obviously in the market for a pass rusher, and they're making calls on the one guy the Packers wouldn't trade for, which is, of course, Zadarius Smith.
Well, and the guy, I can see they're showing highlights and the Bengals have gone up on the Raiders. The guy that I thought made sense was Trey Hendrickson.
Yep.
And he also has history with Dan Campbell, has history with Aaron Glenn in New Orleans. So I used him as the example that you're referencing of, not only do you get him, but you also prevent the Lions from getting him. The problem is, apparently, at least from what I read from Diana Rossini yesterday, the Bengals are trying to add players. They're not trying to deal players. So if that's the case, you can take him out of the equation, and now you're starting to run out of look, if you have a really good pass rusher, you are not giving him away. Because even if you're rebuilding, you want him on your team for the next quarterback or the next team you have.
Well, if you're rebuilding around him. If you're the Browns, you're not giving away Myles Garrett because he's a huge part of the rebuild.
But you'll give away Zadarius Smith before he quits on your team.
That's very true.
I hope they make a move. I don't know if they're going to.
But again, I think it's you have to find the right dance partner. You know that Goody's not going to do anything where he feels like he's overpaying. If there is a huge name out there that you can get, yes, be aggressive. But the move, the pass rusher that the Kansas City Chiefs picked up, and now I'm blanking on his name. Guy from Michigan who also has 2 sacks.
Joshua Daisy.
Yeah.
Like
that. I guess would that move make you marginally better? Sure, but I don't know if there's going to be a big enough pass rusher that's going to make you significantly better.
No, you're probably right. That's the one issue. But what else do we know about Jeff Hafley's defense? What can we solidly say through 8 games we know about Jeff Hafley's defense?
Well, here's one thing. You know that you're taking an inherited defense that was essentially in a 3-4. And now you're trying to cultivate into a 4-3. And I think directly into the pass rush, if you want to talk about pass rush, there's different rushing responsibilities because you're going from essentially with a 5-man rush for the most part and then somebody dropping off to 4-man rush with different responsibilities. So I think you have more territory, less people, essentially. And so you can't let some of those mobile quarterbacks escape. And so I think at times you can let the leash off the dog in the sense of allowing him to throw his knives at the quarterback and give him his repertoire.
Violent, throw knives at the quarterback.
Throwing knives, right?
More of an axe thrower myself.
Yeah.
I like axe throwing too.
No.
Yeah, watch out, it bounces back though.
I would pay money to see you throw an axe.
It would require a lot.
You do the one hand or two hand?
I don't do it at all.
My guess is Jason would be a 2-hand.
Yeah, he'd be a 2-hander.
Yeah.
So getting back to the point of the defensive rush, I think at times I think it is a little bit more conservative pass rush based on what Hafley is giving him, as well as the production that you see from Rayshawn as well as Van Ness, because there aren't as many sacks, but we do see an increase in those turnovers because you're keeping the quarterback in the pocket. And you're trying to condense it so that you making the quarterback feel nervous.
Through 8 games, and I hope this changes over the next 9, but through 8, the pass rush to me is what is going to hold this team back. If there's something that holds this team back, it's going to be the pass rush. Because
far and away, yeah.
I think that's the reason why Jacksonville was able to get back in the game last week. You're up by 10 points, and Jeff Hafley's not going to want to get too aggressive, send too many blitzes, put guys out of position by doing too many fire zones. And if you have a guy that demands attention, that can get home, that can even just cause a little bit of that disruption in that front 4, I don't think Jacksonville's able to score 10 points in the last half of the fourth quarter. You think of that's teams that have those guys, whether it's Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, these elite level pass rushers, Clay Matthews certainly when he was here with your team,
TJ Watt, right.
TJ Watt, those guys, they close out games.
Right.
They're the closers to me because now you have the lead, you get to tee off, you get to pin your ears back, you get to go after the quarterback, and if you can't do that, you saw what Trevor Lawrence, who hasn't been good this year, looked pretty darn good against the Packers because he wasn't uncomfortable in that pocket.
Right, and when you think back to the team that Jarrett was on, you think about Clay Matthews, you think about Cullen Jenkins. Dom Capers wasn't sending 5 all the time. I mean, Dom, especially if he got beat on a blitz earlier in a game, correct me if I'm wrong, but he would then dial it back because he did not want to give up big plays because of taking risks. But here's the difference. Clay won one-on-ones and even one-on-twos. And so did Cullen Jenkins with his spin move. And we have not seen that. Look, again, I'm not trying to pick on Rashawn Gary or Lucas Van Ness, but when you're drafted as high as both of those players were, when you're the 12th overall pick and the 13th overall pick, I'm sorry, I can't take the Matt LaFleur. Well, this league now, they're leaving running backs into chip, and then they're going out for checkdowns. Yeah, they did that when you were playing, too, and it wasn't that long ago. Running backs have chipped for a really long time. And I don't hear Myles Garrett saying, well, I would have gotten more sacks, but I'm getting chipped all the time. Right? When Micah Parsons is healthy, you see him. I was watching one of the games before he got hurt when the Cowboys were playing well. And one of the things that they did with Rashawn Gary, that they did with Micah Parsons, was move him around, right, to create maybe some different rushing lanes. But the bottom line is, when he gets confronted with 1 or 2 blockers, Micah Parsons beat those guys, and their guys have not. And Lucas Van Ness, I thought for sure in year 2, he was one of the picks to click for me, a guy who was going to elevate his game because he would have developed more than just his bull rush, power, pass rush, and I don't see that having occurred yet.
Yeah.
A slim 270. I think he
is the biggest. He is cut up now.
270, and I was like, gosh, you're skinny for 270. But that's heavy. That's almost pushing 300 pounds, Wilde. One thing you talk about, Wilde, Cullen, and Clay, they had a repertoire as well as rush moves, but they also rushed with flair. They had an abundance of moves, and it was like, wow, that was a nice move.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if we see that same type of flair.
Have not.
As Micah Parsons or Clay Matthews or Julius Peppers or Reggie White with the club. You know what I'm saying?
I think Reggie was 101.
That's what I'm saying. So, but when you saw it, you were like, wow, that was a nice move. I'm not sure if we see that same repertoire, same assortment of moves. Van Ness is also one of my picks. He was on the TV show as well. I was like, man, you're a big kid. I'm looking forward to you kind of putting that crown on as the rush leader or rush sack leader in that Clay Matthews realm. You know what I'm saying?
He's having one of the worst win rates in the NFL, Lucas Van Ness, this year.
Yeah. So that's a no. That didn't. No crown.
No crown for him.
Well, here's the hope, right? But I think there is that transition from that 3-4 to that 4-3 as well. And this is the first year. Maybe some guys are still trying to hone that skill in rushing in a 4-3 scheme.
Maybe.
That's my opinion. I definitely feel like going from the Bob Sanders D coordinator to Dom Capers, it definitely took us a little bit of a transition phase. Because now it goes from a one-set template defense to now a multi-dimensional defense, even if a receiver or a tight end changes the sides of the field. So therefore, there's a lot more interchangeability within the defense that you have to be able to know cognizantly so that you're able to play fast and play football and come away with a W.
Final thought from Gabe Neitzel.
Well, just a quick question. We can just do. What do we think happens at linebacker today? Eric Wilson's played really well, especially against the run. Wet, rainy conditions. Quay Walker out of concussion protocol now. Do we think we see his snaps go down and Wilson play earlier, especially on first and second down, to try to slow down what's been a very good rushing attack for the Detroit Lions?
The answer for me is yes. Eric Wilson and Edgerrin Cooper have been your two best linebackers this year.
I would agree. They still want to make sure that they're limiting the number of snaps that Edgerrin Cooper is getting, because he also still, as by his own admission, is still making mental errors, assignment, alignment mistakes. But look,
how do you take the defensive player of the week off the field?
Yeah, well, he won it playing 38 out of 57 snaps.
Correct.
So if you play him 60% of the snaps and you play Eric Wilson, like if you have those three, and they still are happy with with Isaiah McDuffie.
Yeah,
I know
true.
he doesn't have as many playmaking plays, but I think they believe in this idea of rotation, and that stands for the linebacker spot. The only question that I have is I don't think you want to be shuttling in between who's got the green dot.
Yeah.
So do they give it to Quay, or do they give Quay a week off from that and see how Eric Wilson continues to perform? And then it's Quay getting some of the snaps, and it's Edger and Cooper. Because I think they want Edger and Cooper and Quay to be the two guys.
Yeah, they do.
Yes. I think you need all of them, honestly. I think you need the whole linebacker core if they want to take this defense to the next level and to elite, as well as to a championship. I don't think you can pick one or the other. I would like to see all four actually on the football field because I think they're that good.
What kind of a defensive back are you to be asking for more linebackers?
Because
he wants a high school defense today, a 4-4.
Yeah, 4-4.
Maybe if you need
got some
another
DBs
rusher,
hurt, put another
if you
linebacker
need
on
another
the field.
rusher that's not getting home.
I'm calling Tremont and Wood and all of them. Let them know that JB wants more linebackers.
Hey, I mean, I think
I got a fever.
They will testify with me because we know that front seven gets after. We know that front seven gets after that quarterback. We know that it makes our job easier, and we're going to get the ball off the quarterback because we know that quarterback.
Not if you're not in the game.
I hope you listening learned something because I just learned a lot in the last 20 minutes talking defense with Jarrett Bush, Jason Wilde, Gabe Neitzel, Alex Strofe with you on Green Bay Game Day. Hey, Jason, quick question for you. Are we playing yes or no next?
Yes, we are.
Whoa.
Fashion
but
choices.
No, I may not answer them all.
Yeah, you probably won't. Fashion choices, running backs, and more. Yes or no with Jason Wilde is next on Green Bay Game Day.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Beyond the bottle, Tito's has gained a reputation for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's and learn more at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Hi, it's John Reitz. Are you looking for a local bank that really understands you? At Great Midwest Bank, we know Wisconsin because we've been serving the state for nearly 90 years. Most of our co-workers have lived here their entire lives, with a vested interest in better serving your mortgage lending or checking and savings needs. Check out our new lineup of common sense, fee-friendly deposit products at greatmidwestbank.com. We're all the bank you'll ever need. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Hauntingly good deals await you at the Kunis Auto Group's October Spooktacular Savings Event. There will be no tricks, only treats.
Trick or treat!
On the price you'll get on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Prices will be slashed at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis Auto Group dealership. America's best-selling cars, trucks, and SUVs from both Buick and GMC. All marked down with October Spooktacular Savings discounts and incentives, including their entire inventory of pre-owned vehicles. Choose from over 1,500 on lot or online. There'll be dozens of spooktacular service specials and everything from brakes, tires to oil changes. Plus, with any test drive in October, you'll be entered to win free gas for a year, with drawings held every Friday throughout the month at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis dealerships in both Greenfield and Oak Creek. Halloween savings aren't just slashed, they're chainsawed at the Kunis Auto Group's October Spooktacular Savings Event going on now. For additional event info, go to shopkunis.com.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
I'm joined by Dr. Rick Papandrea. What's the process when deciding if someone needs surgery or not?
The surgeons here are just that. We are surgeons, but all orthopedic surgeons evaluate a patient and attempt to get them better without surgery. And then we have other non-surgeons here as well. Everybody is coordinated to get people better. And if we can do that without surgery, great. It's typically the best way to get somebody better. But there are just certain injuries that won't get better on their own. They fail to get better without surgery, or they're clearly such that they need surgery.
Does someone's personal interest and feelings play into medical decisions?
We have to look at the patient and decide what's best for them. It's always good to ask the doctor, what would you do? But I always turn that back around and say, well, I'm not you. Let's look at what you need, because some patients may have the exact same sort of needs that I have, but what I need or what I think will work isn't always the best thing for the patient given their specifics.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
Head to Menards right now to save big money on your next lighting project. Check out our great selection of Lutron lighting controls. LED plus dimmer switches are designed to match your existing switches and are easy to install. Create the perfect lighting for your home. Save big money right now on Lutron lighting controls in store. And view all of our great deals happening this week on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. A little over an hour and a half away from kickoff. Packers-Lions, first place game in the NFC North. Rest in peace, Uncle Phil. Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, Super Bowl champ, Jared Bush, three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Uncle Phil from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
That would be correct. That is the opening line of this song, No Role Models, by J. Cole, The Great American Order. First things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. All right, first things first, it is time to play Yes or No with Jason Wilde.
Will today be the day there are black and white answers from our most respected journalist?
Possibly. I think we shouldn't be greedy. Maybe. You would certainly hope so.
It's time for Yes or No with Jason Wilde.
Let's go. Yes or no with Jason Wilde. Alex Strofe, Jared Bush, Gabe Neitzel, Jason Wilde, of course, with you. Let's start here, fellas. Lions wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown arriving to Lambeau Field today wearing a sweatshirt that says, Green Bay sucks. Yes or no, a good fashion choice by Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jason Wilde.
Well, that's a tough question to answer.
Those are fighting words. Go ahead.
Jared's mad.
So, as someone who, you grew up here, right?
I did.
This is home for you.
This is indeed.
And by the way, I don't want to tell them how to
spell. Green Bay is two words.
Green Bay is 2 words.
Green Bay is one word. Yes, correct.
Or was it a fan? Or was it a fan?
I won't go as far as saying yes or no. Amon-Ra St. Brown is illiterate. I'm not going to go that far.
Yeah, I think a fan did that, and then they were like, I'll just wear it.
First of all, who's he got doing his sweatshirts for?
Right.
Look,
he signed a big contract. He can do better than that.
Maybe he's got his little. He's like ironing him on in his hotel room last night.
Yeah. Is he? Oh no! You know who did it?
Shoot,
you know who did it?
Space between them.
His older brother, Equanimous. That's who made that sweatshirt.
Yeah, the clothing line.
Equanimous St. Brown left Green Bay. Green Bay didn't bring him back. He's bitter. Green Bay sucks. It's probably EQ sweatshirt.
Maybe it's just his sweatshirt. He just borrowed it.
Yeah.
So who's pressing that though? That's what I want to know.
It's a great question, JB. I wish I had the answer.
Okay. All I'll say is this: that having been here, Ryan Longwell got a lot of grief when he made his joke about Applebee's, but having worked in this town now for 29 years and having done it as a young single guy once upon a time. There were times where Green Bay kind of sucked. Do I think it does now as a place to raise your kids and everything's 15 minutes away? Are there some folks that maybe I don't see eye to eye with? Yes, but this is a great place. I'm very happy here. So I'm not.
Do you think he's referring to the city or the team?
Why not both?
Well, first of all, is he worried about copyright infringement? So he didn't put the Packers stuff? Like, what is he doing?
Well, you know what I think?
It's like when we say, you can win tickets to the big game. Come on.
You know what I think?
If you're going to do that, do it right.
I think Amon-Ra St. Brown sucks. That's what I think. Amon-Ra.
He's pretty good.
Well, so is Green Bay.
Yeah, I mean,
It's no Denmark.
They got a quick trip now. I mean, things are booming down in Denmark, my alma mater. No doubt about that.
Yes.
Right off I-43. Nice and convenient.
Interesting choice for him today, especially after, I think it was Xavier McKinney earlier in the week, talked about how disrespectful the Detroit Lions can be in terms of trying to put their opponents away.
Embarrassing people.
I hope we smoke them.
And showing up with this is certainly a choice. Although, probably an easier choice to make if you think that Jair Alexander is not going to play.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Let's go to our resident defensive back. That's a wide receiver on the opposing team. How do you react to that? If, let's say you're sitting at your locker before the game, about an hour before kickoff, somebody walks up and says, hey, JB, check out what Amon-Ra wore today. What's the reaction?
I think he's dumping fuel on the fire, Alex. I think definitely. You're really wanting to stir up the pot a little bit and ruffle some feathers, I guess, if you will.
Were you the kind of player that wanted to stir you stirring up the pot, and B, did you want someone else to stir it up toward you to get you going? Either one of those did you want to do, or would you rather avoid both?
It's a really good question.
It didn't really matter. I wanted to win. Now, if somebody took the initiative or asserted themselves to try to ruffle that feather, I welcome it all day, baby.
Okay. All right.
All day,
But you're
baby.
not going to a game with a shirt that says Detroit
No,
sucks.
because I don't.
You're not bringing that.
I'm not bringing that at all.
Okay.
I let my pads do the talking.
I
If they want to talk, I'll make it a point, and I would take a penalty in a FedEx locker room letter for the NFLPA to shut somebody up who wore a jersey like that or a sweatshirt. So, like I said,
Gabe, I have an idea for you.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy show up with a shirt that says Wilde and Tausch Shucks.
But you got to put all Wilde and South.
It has to be one word. Yeah, it's got to run it all together.
Let's start a little rivalry. I like it. All right, that does it for us on the abbreviated version of Yes or No.
That was the only yes or no question.
Well, we're running way late, and we need to get to the injury report, which will come up after the break.
Well, but I mean, at the same time, we got an extra 25 minutes today.
One more.
All right, fine. Yes or no? The Detroit rushing game is the most fearful for the Packers today. David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs.
No Hutchinson.
The part you're most scared of.
No Hutchinson.
In facing the Lions today.
Yeah, he would be.
Hutchinson would be the answer, but he's not there.
But he's not.
But I think it's that 1-2 punch now.
Yeah.
Personally.
Look, I think, and I'm not doing this just to be difficult, but it helps. I think it depends on what their game plan is for today, right? If Ben Johnson got off the bus, which I would have been here even earlier, but the caravan came through while I was waiting to cross, so then the police keep you longer. But if Ben Johnson rode in on that bus and looked up at the sky and saw the rain coming down and said, look, we're outdoors for the first time this year. This has got to be a run-first game.
Our quarterback stinks outdoors.
Yeah, then yes.
Sucks.
Then I think golf sucks in the rain. Then I think that's for sure what you want to do. But again, I don't think quarterbacks generally, and I remember, again, Rodgers specifically, I'm not sure the rain itself would preclude them with the talent they have at tight end and at wide receiver, even without Jamison Williams. I think that they're still going to throw the ball. And given the Packers' pass rush, I don't think they're scared to throw the ball. And if that changes during the course of the game, then it becomes a more running game.
Okay, Gabe?
It's the scariest thing for me,
I agree.
without a doubt, because the Packers, when they've gone up against the better backs that they've faced, those better backs have had really good games. And these two, over 1,000 yards combined already this season. Yes, a lot of the other things they've done, Jamison Williams, pre-suspension, was having his best season. Amon-Ra St. Brown, fantastic. Laporta, great. But those running backs are really what make that offense go for Detroit. You have to find a way to slow them down to make Jared Goff play in the rain and prove that he can beat you outside.
Yeah, quick lead would help that. JB, last word.
Yeah, I think iron sharpens iron. I think Dan Campbell and his squad is going to sharpen Jeff Hafley. I definitely see, if he sees the Detroit Lions defense slicing and dicing and throwing knives at Jordan Love, I think he's going to copy that blueprint, and he's going to dial up some of his most complex defenses to make it kind of look like he's doing the same thing. I think NFL is definitely a copycat league, so I think I'll go with that.
All right, there you have it. Super Bowl champ Jared Bush, three-time Wisconsin Sports Radio, Jason Wilde, Gabe Neitzel, Alex Strofe with you. Coming up on the other side, It's the injury report presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Love in or out? Jair in or out? Josh Myers in or out? We get your answers coming up next on Green Bay Game Day.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Career politician Tammy Baldwin wasted trillions of dollars and created crushing inflation. Baldwin opened our borders and gave taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants. And she voted to put men in girls' sports. Enough is enough. Businessman Eric Hovde will stop inflation, secure the border, and defend our Wisconsin values. Here's Eric Hovde.
You have a clear choice in this election. Senator Baldwin is a 38-year career politician. I'm a businessman and job creator. She supports taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. I'll close the border. Tammy wants to put guys in girls' sports and in their bathrooms. I'll protect our daughters. Senator Baldwin abuses the political system. I'll fight the corruption. I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
Green and gold fans, it's game day. And you know what that means. Tailgating with friends and raising a glass to our favorite team. This season, make Bacardi the star of your pregame party. Whether you're mixing up a classic Bacardi and Cola, refreshing Bacardi Lime and Soda, or a smooth spiced and Cola, Bacardi is the perfect pick for game day fun. Grab a bottle and get ready to cheer on Green Bay with the best in hand. Available now at your local retailer. Live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi USA, Miami, Florida. Rum 40% alcohol by volume.
Swing into action to experience Sweetgrass and Sage Run in 2025. The Island Resort and Casino stay and play packages are a hole-in-one. By blending award-winning golf with exceptional amenities, we've become the premier resort destination in the Midwest. But don't wait. These popular packages fill up fast. To book your 2025 golf getaway and secure your spot on the green, visit islandresortgolf.com today.
Homer here to tell you about Rawhide Youth Services. Co-founded in 1965 by Bart and Cherry Starr, Rawhide is a faith-based nonprofit that helps thousands of youth every year, many right here in Milwaukee, overcome trauma, suicidal thoughts, and live better lives. For youth who are hurting, who feel lost or abandoned, and families feeling powerless to help them, Rawhide is there to help. They also need vehicle donations to support their mission of helping hurting youth transform their future. Donate to Rawhide Youth Services. Visit rawhide.org/donate.
It's time to start thinking about the holiday season, and the Corners of Brookfield has you covered to check off everyone on your list. Head to the Corners for all of your gifting needs and find something for everyone at any of their 30-plus restaurants and retailers. Immerse yourself in the joyful experience of shopping this holiday season, because the perfect gift is right around the Corners. Create a great, well-rounded gift for anyone and get a Corners gift card. Make your shopping list this holiday season, and don't forget to check it twice. Visit the Corners of Brookfield.com.
Whether you're about to graduate high school or have been in the workforce for years, it's time to take control of your future. Welcome to Lakeland University, where you call the shots. We use our flexible learning formats to customize your degree path. In person, online, and virtual classes are all available. Lakeland University is designed around you, your goals, your schedule, your future. You can even earn up to 25% of your degree via paid work experiences. Ready to take control of your future? Let us customize an education to fit your needs. Visit lakeland.edu/ESPN to learn more.
Is your business looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been looking forward to the future and helping businesses shape what's next for 165 years and for the last 15 here in Milwaukee. They offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making capabilities, and extensive experience to help navigate the complexities of a constantly changing business market environment. With your business in mind, commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Nathan's here with all the ice on in the booth. At the gate outside when they pull up.
Good pop from our producer, Max Meyerson, calling me loud and annoying. Thanks, Max. Pleasure to work with you as well. It's Green Bay Game Day presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, Super Bowl champ, Jared Bush, 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde, hanging out with you just outside of Lambeau Field. Time now to take a look at the injury report, which I have not seen. Today's injury report presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com today for information. We go to Jason Wilde.
You're not going to like it.
Okay.
It's not good.
We knew Evan Williams wasn't going to play.
We did.
Josh Myers had indicated that he thought he would make a run at it.
Sounds like he's wrong.
He's listed as doubtful. He is out.
Okay. Jair.
So the reshuffling of the offensive line begins, and so does the shuffling of the secondary as Jair Alexander is also inactive. So Alexander, Evan Williams, and Josh Myers are all out today. The healthy scratches, Malik Heath, Travis Glover, and Brenton Cox Jr. So those are your Packers inactives. That means that not only will they be shuffling their offensive line, but it also means in the secondary, Carrington Valentine's going to have to play, Eric Stokes is going to have to play, and Javon Bullard is going to have to move to safety.
All right, that stings a little bit. Let's start with the defensive backfield, which is more worrisome to me.
Are you okay? You're hyperventilating.
I'm trying to spin it positively in my head.
You went from trying to get JB signed for the game to now, like,
stand
you're
by
like
that.
there's like a panic.
Go to the locker room now.
I'm gonna need some paperwork.
I'll work on that in the commercial break. Okay, let's start with the secondary. No Evan Williams is bad. We saw the trickle-down effect it had last week. No Jair's worse. You obviously lose the matchup against Mr. Green Bay sucks. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
Eric Stokes, Carrington Valentine have both been incredibly underwhelming this year. They are debatably your top two corners with Keyshawn Nixon today.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think
that's concerning.
Keyshawn's played pretty well at corner.
He has.
He has. He's had a nice season.
And so it's not like you're down, your top two corners. Keyshawn's still going to be out there. Jason, is he going to drop down into the slot?
I have
Bullard
to think,
going back out to safety, and then you have Valentine and Stokes on the outside?
So what I would predict is that in the base, when they go traditional 4-3, and they have three linebackers in the game, I would think it'll be Keyshawn on one side, and I think it'll be Carrington Valentine on the other. Now, I don't know. We don't get to see 11 on 11 during practice. I don't know. Maybe Eric Stokes had a strong week of practice, but he did not have a strong day in Jacksonville because he was clearly benched mid-series to insert Carrington Valentine.
And they don't do that. It's important to point that out.
I don't see that. I don't know how many times I've seen that. They rotate defensive linemen. They can rotate guys at linebacker. They don't. Once you've started the drive, they don't want to be making changes barring injury in your secondary. And seeing him come out after he gave up a couple of longer completions would indicate to me that he was benched because he was never on the injury report this week. Like not even as a full participant with some sort of issue. So I think they benched him. So now I would think it'll be Carrington Valentine and Keyshawn Nixon outside. When they go to nickel, Keyshawn will move inside, and Eric Stokes would come off the bench. Their only other cornerback option would be Corey Ballantyne, who had been the guy that we saw get the start earlier this year when Jair wasn't able to play against Minnesota. And Jordan Addison cooked him for that long touchdown.
Sure did.
So your choices there are now again.
Saw it happen.
I mean, there's very few people that are bigger fans of Jared Bush, but I think JB's in the right spot now.
I am.
But you better hope that these guys can rise to the occasion because going back to the conversation we were having at the end of Yes or No about the running game. The running game is no joke, but now that you're doing this against a passing offense capable of what this group is, it is not an ideal matchup.
So just to recap defensively, Jair Alexander out, Evan Williams out for the Green Bay Packers. Let's go to the offense. Jordan Love is active. That's important. We knew that was coming, but it is official now. Jordan Love will start for the Green Bay Packers today at quarterback. However, he will be receiving snaps from Elton Jenkins, who typically plays left guard. Elton Jenkins will slide into center. You will see both guards. They've been rotating off and on this year at right guard in Jordan Morgan and Sean Ryan. I imagine Ryan will probably play right and Morgan left,
No,
Jason?
I think it's
other way
gonna be
around?
the other way. What they did when Josh Myers had the stinger and he left the game against Arizona but came back, but what it was Elton to center, Jordan Morgan stayed at right guard, and because they feel better about Sean Ryan's versatility and experience, he was the left guard.
Okay, so left to right today, Rasheed Walker, Sean Ryan, Elton Jenkins, Jordan Morgan, Zach Tom. That is your offensive line today.
I would think so, yes.
How do we feel about that? I actually don't feel awful.
No, I don't think you're panicky. I'm reminded of the line in Hamilton. You makes the other side panicky. You were panicking.
Let's never do that again.
Yeah.
That was good.
With my shot. See?
I liked it.
You got to see.
He's lying to you.
Have you never
seen it?
I've seen Hamilton.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you're panicky.
I am a little panicky defensively. Offensively, I don't feel that bad.
I would agree. I don't think you should. I think the concern would be you're now one injury away from probably having someone out there that you don't necessarily want out there.
You had a layup there, Jason. You're one injury away from being panicky.
Well, I didn't want to. I was told not to say panicky again. At least
no,
not the way.
I told you not to sing it. I told you not to sing it. I didn't say you couldn't say it.
I threw away my shot.
Oh, nice. Actually, that was pretty good. Well done. Not going to throw away my shot. Okay, anyway. So
maybe he has seen it.
Yeah,
I wasn't lying to you.
I mean, that's like the most popular song from it, so it's, he could have stumbled across that one.
Well, isn't the one, is that the same one that goes, Alexander Hamilton?
That would be the one, yeah.
Okay, got it. What?
He is the main character.
Is Hamilton the one that sings Alexander?
No. I was asking if that was the same song.
Let's move on.
Is the answer yes or no? All right.
Let's move on.
Jason, you've distracted us. You've used good words today. Give us your final thoughts ahead of Packers-Lions now that you know the injury report.
Yeah, I kind of came in a little bit. I mean,
you came in hot.
Lukewarm for me. But now I'm struggling a little bit with the level of confidence I said that with earlier. Because I'll be honest, I thought even though Jair hadn't practiced all week, Rob had the report at the beginning of the week that they didn't find anything structurally wrong with his knee. Then what's going on here, right? So I thought they would rest him all week, but it's pretty clear he knows what he has to do.
He's a veteran.
He would play, and so I am surprised by that development. That was not what I was expecting coming into this game. I thought he would play despite not practicing. Look, for me, it all comes down to, can they get enough pressure on Jared Goff to make things easier on a makeshift secondary? And can Jordan Love be some close facsimile to what Jordan Love looks like when he's healthy? Again, I'm going to finish where I started, finish where I started. When Rob Demovsky talked about how Aaron Rodgers effectively could throw and be productive when he had the torn calf and be kind of a statue in the pocket, I don't know if that is something that Jordan will be able to do today. That is one of the things we're going to find out, because you can't. The other part of it is there were times with that calf injury when Rodgers took off and ran, because it's just an instinct. And is Jordan Love able to do that? Again, these are all things that we're going to be very eager to find out today.
All right, there's your final thought from Jason Wilde, the three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year. Host of Wilde and Tausch, weekdays 9 to noon. Good luck. I was trying to think of a Hamilton quote, but I struggled to do it while I was doing the slow exit. Jason, appreciate the time as always. We'll be hearing you on the post game and listening to you tomorrow, 9 to noon on Wilde and Tausch.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
Gabe Neitzel, Jarrett Bush, Alex Strofe, roll on with you until kickoff at 3:25 right here on Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Bruston Nortman. I love this time of year. Playoff baseball, the start of hoop season, and of course, football. I'm all about watching the action on the gridiron with a carbless in my hand. Premium, ready-to-drink cocktails with no malt, no carbs, and no sugar. Vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, black raspberry, and lemon lime, and classic cocktail flavors like Paloma or Margarita. Find Carbless at your local grocer and enjoy game day. Carbless. Less is more.
Hey, it's Gary Ellison here for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking for that midday escape? Or maybe you want to impress a client? Get a little slice of summer on the links with Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, a top-tech, cutting-edge golf experience that gives you the chance to play legendary courses. Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's simulators, entertainment, and best Bloody Marys make it feel like summer all year round. With bays at just $35 an hour, Mondays through Thursdays, that summer feel is easily back in your life. Book your bay at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Here's what Tammy Baldwin thinks about President Trump and you.
Donald Trump might be one of the most offensive and hateful and unacceptable presidential candidates we've ever had. So what does that say about the people who support him?
Tammy Baldwin is a liberal snob. Vote her out.
I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
There's a good chance you're on a budget. We all are. But she wants a diamond. You know it. I know it. And Robert Hack Diamonds knows it too, because they offer a huge collection of lab-grown diamonds, and they sell them at crazy prices. How about 2-carat total weight diamond studs for $8.95? Robert Hack Diamonds can get any size, shape, or clarity in natural or lab-grown diamonds. Don't buy until you call Robert Hack Diamonds. $8.95 for a 2-carat pair of diamond studs. Oh, baby! Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield and in Brookfield. Why overspend when you can save at Robert Hack Diamonds for the same diamond you're looking for? Some jewelers are charging nearly $5,000 for a lab-grown diamond. Not Robert Hack. Your visit will be worth it, and she'll think so too. Robert Hack also offers repair services and cash for your old gold. But remember, before you do anything, as I did, RobertHackDiamonds.com, and visit them in Brookfield or in Greenfield.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Party people! It's time to get this tailgate started and get you ready for the green and gold game. This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Broadcasting live from the shadow of the South End Zone at Lambeau Field. Alongside Gabe Neitzel and Super Bowl champion Jared Bush, here's Alex Strofe.
Away we go, Hour 3, Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, Super Bowl champ, could be Dancing with the Stars champ, in my opinion, just like his former teammate, Donald Driver. That's Jared Bush hanging out with us just over an hour away from kickoff. Packers-Lions, effective first place game here in the NFC North, about midway through the season. Week 9 in the NFL. We'll take a look at some of the scores around the NFL in just a moment. But I just want to recap the injury report we just went through with our friend Jason Wilde. Jair Alexander is out. Evan Williams at safety is out. Josh Myers at center is out for the Packers. So the defensive backfield really taking a hit. Losing Evan Williams and Jair Alexander, their top corner. You expect to see Quite a bit of Eric Stokes today, who was, we ponder that he was benched last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars, taken out mid-drive. The Packers never do that.
Yeah.
And he was not on the injury report. So you'll see some Eric Stokes, you'll see some Keyshawn Nixon, you'll see some Carrington Valentine at corner. You will not see Javon Bullard in the slot. You will see him at safety starting alongside Xavier McKinney. That is the situation in the defensive backfield for the Packers. On offense, the offensive line is going to look a little bit different today without center Josh Myers from left to right. It will look as normal. Left tackle will be Rasheed Walker. Left guard will be the rookie first-round pick Jordan Morgan, likely. The center will be Elton Jenkins. Normally plays left guard. Will shift over to center. Right guard will be Sean Ryan. No rotation today as Morgan will be over at left guard. Or I have that backwards, excuse me. Ryan at left guard, Morgan at right guard. And then Zach Tom, as normal, at right tackle. Those are likely what we will see based on the injury report today. I am much more worried about the defense than I am the offense from the injury report, because the good news of the injury report is Jordan Love is active, Josh Jacobs is active. Both guys will play for the Packers offense today. Defensively, I am a little worried, and I want to go to our D-back expert, Jarrett Bush, once again, on these injuries. Your reaction, and obviously, you were a depth piece too, buddy. I mean, think about in the Super Bowl. You stepped up when Charles Woodson went out in Super Bowl 45. What goes on in that room when you hear this news? No Evan Williams, no Jair Alexander.
Opportunity. I think all you want at the end of the day is a shot. Give me a chance, coach. Give me a shot to let me know that I am worthy. I am good enough to step on the field with some of the best in the world. And I think that's the mentality that I think you have to have, especially as defensive back, because you fail a lot at that position. People catch the ball on you. People score touchdowns on you. Mm-hmm. But you have to be resilient as all get out. And so I definitely feel like at that point where if your star player, Jair Alexander, and you get a shot and you're getting the nod and your number is called, you want a shot at the pretty little girl, don't you?
I
pretty
feel,
little girl.
I feel like with Valentine out there, he did some good things last year. Now, again, I think
Valentine or Ballantyne?
Valentine.
V.
Valentine.
I think
both of them really
good last year.
Both of them had
Valentine
opportunities
got
last
cooked
week.
against Minnesota, but Valentine like the holiday.
Valentine like the holiday. I feel like him getting another opportunity out there, maybe getting his feet underneath him, especially with the way that Keyshawn Nixon has played. I don't think it's all is lost in that defensive backfield. We've seen some good things out of these guys. And again, I know you're a little nervous after seeing the injury report, Strofe, but maybe this will make you feel a little bit better. The last time that Jared Goff played a regular season game outside,
this will be fun,
was December of last year, December 10th, on the road at Chicago.
How'd he do?
20 of 35, 161 yards, a touchdown, 2 picks, and a 28-13 loss to the Bears.
That makes me feel better, Gabe.
Yeah.
Good job.
I thought I'd try to, cheer you up a little bit, because that is the one equalizer. For whatever reason, Jared Goff has struggled outside. It is just staggering how much better he is inside versus outside. And having these conditions, if it's, a little chillier, the wind picks up a little bit more. We just had a gust that made me a little bit chilly here.
Yeah, it's cold here.
In the studio. So I think that there is the opportunity that with Jared Goff not being as efficient outside in inclement conditions, I think that that's going to be a nice little equalizer for the Packers not having Jair Alexander.
We are live in the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio just outside of the south end zone of Lambeau Field. People start to make their way into Lambeau Field. Drizzly, rainy, not quite pouring as hard as it was before, but we anticipate that will pick up here in the next couple hours.
I'd call this steady.
Yeah.
Like a solid, steady rain right now.
Yeah. That ball's going to be wet out there.
Yes, so it is.
Let's not fake the funk. The ball is going to get wet.
What did you say?
The ball is going to get wet. The refs.
Let's not fake the what?
Fake the funk. Fake the funk.
I've never heard that
fake
before.
The funk.
Interesting.
That it is wet out there. The refs are going to have towels. The ball kids are going to have towels. They're going to have a little pouch where they're trying to keep
keep the hands warm.
And whatever quarterback can manage that football the best is going to come out on top at the end of the day. I understand footage is a thing, but whoever keeps that ball under control and secure, We'll win this football game.
Yeah, you have to take care of the football. I mean, and that's been a big issue for the Packers this year. I know they were able to overcome the 3 turnovers and win. Again, something that does not happen all that often in NFL games. You lose the turnover battle by 3 or more, you have less than a 10% chance of winning. They did that against Houston. They have to be, because that's the one thing with Jordan Love. The one thing with him this year has been the turnovers, and he has to take care of the football in the wet, rainy conditions because this Lions team, whether or not Jared Goff is playing well, playing poorly, this is an offense that is going to take advantage of those opportunities. They did it last week against Tennessee, and they can do it with the talented offense that they have. So taking care of the football, to me, is such a huge part of today's game.
Yeah, something that's obviously been emphasized all week, I would imagine, for Green Bay, with not knowing whether or not Jordan Love would go today, is you got to win the turnover battle. Got to win the time of possession battle. Long, sustained drives that end in 7 has to be the goal for the Packers offense today against the good Detroit offense.
Although I'll say I hadn't really thought about this, but having Brandon McManus, having a veteran kicker who's seen a lot of different things in his time in the NFL, playing in conditions like this, kicking a wet football, it makes me feel a lot more confident had Braden Narvison still been around. So I think that's
Carlson, right?
I think that's something that gives me a little bit more confidence. You have that veteran kicker that should be able to handle these elements today.
No doubt about it. Gabe Neitzel, Super Bowl champ Jared Bush, Alex Strofe hanging out with you here on Green Bay Game Day on ESPN Milwaukee. 8 games going on in the NFL right now. Kirk Cousins has thrown 3 touchdown passes, has the Falcons in front of the Cowboys early in the fourth quarter, 21-13. In Buffalo, the Bills lead the Dolphins 20-13, a couple minutes into the fourth quarter. Still third quarter action in Cincinnati, but they have a big lead, the Bengals do, on the Las Vegas Raiders. Joe Burrow, 4 touchdown passes, 31-10 the score in Cincinnati. The Bengals started 0-3, looking to become 4-5. The Chargers have a big lead on the Browns out in Cleveland, 20-3 the score. They are late third quarter. Titans and Patriots in the Toilet Bowl, tied 10-all early fourth quarter. Commanders lead the Giants 24-10 early in the fourth quarter. 14-point lead. 2 touchdown passes for rookie Jaden Daniels, the leader in the clubhouse for Rookie of the Year. Panthers Saints late third quarter. Panthers hold on to a 1-point lead. It's 17-16 there. And the Ravens are putting it on the Denver Broncos. End of the third quarter, it is 38-10. 2 touchdowns for Derrick Henry, 2 receiving touchdowns for Zay Flowers in that one. Those are your scores in the NFL right now. All 4 NFC North teams playing later today. Bears play at 3:05, kicking off a little bit earlier than the Packers at 3:25. Bears at the Cardinals today. Packers-Lions, of course, 3:25 here at Lambeau Field. And tonight, the Vikings play host to the Indianapolis Colts on Sunday Night Football. Those are your slate of games in the NFL as it stands right now. We will continue to keep you updated as we enter the fourth quarter in a majority of those matchups. We will continue to preview this one. Coming up next, though, got to make our Gruber Law offices one call, one prediction for the upcoming game between the Packers and the Lions. That's next on Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
More Green Bay Game Day coming up on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Beyond the bottle, Tito's has gained a reputation for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's and learn more at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Rake in a big win this November at Potawatomi. Go head-to-head in the Cash Clash game show for your share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. The Cash Clash game show at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
For over 4 decades, one name has stood out as a symbol of excellence in automotive sales and service.
It's the Boucher Automotive Group, dedicated to providing exceptional experiences to all of our valued customers.
We will help you find the perfect vehicle within your budget while respecting your time.
With 20 convenient locations, we're the one-stop destination for all your automotive needs.
At Boucher, we're your trusted partner on every mile of your journey.
Riding with you every mile since 1977.
Another MVP has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Dr. Ryan Stefanchuk. Board certified in sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation, Dr. Stefanchuk specializes in non-operative treatment of the spine, chronic pain, all joints, all musculoskeletal problems, and more, emphasizing holistic care first, with a focus on diet, sleep, stress management, and social connections for a patient's well-being. At Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
Save big money on appliances now at Menards. You need reliable and energy-efficient appliances to conquer the day. Menards is your one-stop shop with the largest in-stock appliance selection, ready to take home today. Check out our top appliance brands including KitchenAid, Whirlpool, Maytag, Amana, and Criterion. Save big money on all appliances at Menards and check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for all our great deals.
Save big money at Menards.
With NBA League Pass, you can keep up with the whole league.
Wait, is this for real?
For real.
So I can choose from so many live games?
Yeah, up to 4 with multi-view.
And watch my favorite players dunk?
From every angle, home or away.
Wow, unbelievable.
Believe it, kid. With NBA League Pass, it's all possible. NBA League Pass, your home for streaming hoops.
Only select out-of-market games available and local blackout restrictions apply. Additional charges and other conditions may apply. Visit NBA.com/subscriber agreement for full terms and conditions.
Do you remember that electric moment when you suddenly realized that she was the one?
The one you were going to love forever.
The one you'd been waiting your whole life to meet.
She is the one.
The one.
Now it's time to find the one engagement ring that sparkles like she does.
Come to Kessler's Diamonds. We have a collection of incredibly special diamond engagement rings called the One Collection.
You need one special engagement ring for the one woman you will ever love.
Kessler's Diamonds is the one jewelry store where you can find the One Collection.
And Kessler's is the one store that offers the world-famous, no excuses, no fine print, lifetime warranty on every diamond engagement ring we sell.
We have the freedom to do this for you because Kessler's Diamonds is the one diamond store owned by its employees.
The One Collection starts at just $550.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
So like relax, I'm spilling these raps long as you feel them. To the day that I drop, you'll never say that I'm not killing them. Cause when I am not, then I'ma stop pinning them. And I am not hip-hop, and I'm just not Eminem. Subliminal thoughts when I'ma stop sending them. Women are caught in webs, spin them in hawk venom. Adrenaline shots, the penicillin could not get the
Eminem feels fitting today. You know, that's what JB had playing in his headphones ahead of every big game was Eminem, I guarantee it.
Guaranteed. Every game.
For me, middle school basketball, Eminem.
This is my game day pre-game song right here. This is it.
I will not be able to think about Eminem for a while now or hear an Eminem song without thinking of Jameis Winston and what he did last week.
Yeah.
Because I think Jameis Winston is the first person in the history of the NFL in a post-game interview to quote both Jesus Christ and Eminem.
Yeah, he's got to be up there. He's got to be up there.
It's in the same 2-minute post-game interview. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I love that Jameis Winston is a starting quarterback in the NFL.
He's a content machine.
He absolutely is. He is the best interview.
He's entertaining, man.
Awesome.
He's entertaining.
Bad news for Jameis, though, is he is losing big to the Los Angeles Chargers early in the fourth quarter, 20-3. The Browns trailing the Chargers in that one. It's Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, Super Bowl champion Jarrett Bush, hanging out with you just outside of Lambeau Field as we count you down to kickoff. Big one today at Lambeau Field. The 6-2 Green Bay Packers, the 6-1 Detroit Lions. Effectively a first-place game in the NFC North here about midway through the season. Packers have the bye week coming up next week. So when we talk about the injuries, Jair Alexander, Evan Williams, Josh Myers all out today for the Packers. They will have some extra time to get healthy ahead of going to Chicago 2 weeks from today. Gabe Neitzel, I'm feeling okay, actually. I think your optimism has helped me feel less nervous.
Okay.
I'm very excited for this game, though. It feels like it is going to be points, run, final score, close.
Yeah, it kind of feels that way. I mean, these are two really good teams, going into this. So The Packers' front four has to show up. I think that's just going to be such a big key to this game, whether it's pass rush, whether it's slowing down this running attack. They're going to have to step up and play their best game of the year if the Packers want to walk away with a victory. They have been absent at times this year. They have to step up in a big way for the Packers today.
JB, I mean, we've talked about it a few times now since the injury report came out, but it's next man up, right? Next man up mentality for that defensive backfield.
Yes. Yeah, like I said, opportunity. Hey, strike one is hot. Hey, this is your shot, and you can't squander it. I like the saying, what Gabe was talking about, that, hey, this is probably going to be the biggest game of the season thus far. So I think you got to treat it like that. And if you really want a shot at some notoriety, being that you're on the depth of the roster as a backup, hey, this is your time to shine. And do not squander, because you don't get too many opportunities like this, and they come far and few. Because Jai Adler is eventually going to get healthy, and he's going to step back on the field and thrive like he always does. So I'm pumped up. It's raining. It's pouring. The ball is going to get wet.
I thought you were going to say the old man is snoring.
The old man
That's what I thought was coming up next.
I know, right? There's fumbles going to be happening, and there's going to be points, and there's going to be beer splashing all over the place. So I'm pumped up, and I can't wait to see and laugh some of these quarterbacks. Hopefully it's their quarterback swimming and squirming and diving on the ground on this wet ball, trying to figure out what the heck just happened.
It's been a vocabulary day here on Green Bay Game Day. Very proud of Jarrett Bush's vocabulary efforts today. Me and Gabe falling behind the 8 ball a little bit on that. You just heard the pregame boom signaling 1 hour until kickoff between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. So we are less than an hour away from this one. First place game in the NFC North. 6-1 Lions, 6-2 Green Bay Packers, kicking off just under 1 hour from right now. 3:25 kickoff. America's Game of the Week on Fox here at Lambeau Field. There goes our camera. Nicely done.
This is what you get for being popular, Stroh.
Yep, I know. People coming up and saying hello. There goes our camera. Right back at it. Well done by Dylan Brooks, monitoring our on-air appearance today here in the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio just outside of Lambeau Field. And now Ben Brust almost came and knocked it over, but decided against it. All right, Jordan Love. What are our expectations for him today? Obviously, dealing with the groin injury, still dealing with the after effects of that knee injury suffered week 1. He's not going to be 100%. I think we can all acknowledge that.
I think sorry, I just want to finish that question. I think the expectations are still high for him. I think you just run the offense as you normally do. Understand the running game is definitely you want to be established. Understand you are the distributor of the ball. You are a facilitator, someone who touches the ball each and every play. You got to know that. Understand your limitations as well. This is new for you. You're still a young buck. You're still trying to manage whatever is going on in your groin. I understand that, you have this piece of plastic on your leg. You're not 18 anymore, so you need to be very wise and try to be intelligent on your choices, as well as when you see real estate in front of you to maximize that, or maybe just drop down, hey, live to fight another day. Understand that you got to be on the same page with the training staff. Training staff is going to be talking to him in his ear. Like, hey, J Love, how you feeling? I'm not sure, right? So you need that communication, what that looks like, as well as Matt LaFleur, then that communication with the training staff. So it's going to be this triangle of communication, and so he definitely needs to manage that as best to his ability.
When you're a star in the NFL and you're playing through injury, there's still no grading on a curve. There's like, oh, you didn't have a great game. That's okay, because you were playing hurt.
Right.
When you step out on that field, everybody's dealing with something, especially once you hit this part of the year. So Jordan Love, the expectations are still high for him. He still needs to go out there and perform at a high level, because if he's not out there and he's too limited by the injury, that's why you have backups. That's why you see these other guys getting these opportunities in the defensive backfield. Jordan has to play well today. He has to take care of the football. Those are my two biggest keys: defensive line play for the Packers and Jordan Love taking care of the football. Those are the two biggest things for the Packers in order to defeat the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I think the two biggest things for me, Gabe, to your point, time of possession, turnovers, right? You got to win the turnover battle. Long, sustained drives today, especially in this crappy weather, dealing with the injuries that Jordan Love is. Long, sustained drives, which means Josh Jacobs, this is why you're here, brother, right? You're viewed as a workhorse. You are viewed as one of the top bruiser backs in all of the National Football League. Today is a day to show it and prove it that you are one of the best backs in the league. Today's conditions, a perfect opportunity for a guy like Josh Jacobs, right?
Yeah, 100%. And this is, I think, part of the reason why we saw the Packers move on from Aaron Jones. They wanted somebody that they could be, a little bit more consistent, somebody that they could give the ball 32 times like they did earlier this season, 20-plus touches. That's what they're looking for today. And first and second down success is going to be a huge key to that. We've heard Matt LaFleur talk about that when maybe Jacobs didn't get the number of touches that you thought that he might get. Well, when you don't have the success on first and second down, you're having these 3-and-outs like they've had at different times this season. It's tough to get him rolling. It's tough to get him those touches. So those first and second down opportunities are really going to be huge for the Packers to make sure they're putting themselves in third and manageable and not in 3rd and 9 and forcing Jordan Love to throw the ball in bad weather.
We will continue to preview this one. The Gruber Law Office's One Call coming up next. We will take a look at our best bets presented by the Island Resort and Casino. We will give our game picks, all still ahead, less than an hour away from kickoff. 6-2 Packers, 6-1 Lions. America's Game of the Week. Tom Brady on the call today, by the way. I'll be in the stadium, so I won't be able to hear it. Gabe, you're a broadcast geek. You excited to hear TB?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, again, he's limited because he can't go to the production meetings as a part owner now. That's been approved at the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, there's certainly, the games that I've seen from him so far, there's certainly potential. It's just like anything else, it takes reps.
Yeah.
He's halfway through his first season. There's certainly potential. There's a lot of football knowledge there. And I think he's certainly going to get better as he continues.
That part is so weird that he can't attend the production meetings due to being a part owner of the Raiders now. Anyway, all right. That's Inside Broadcast with Gabe Neitzel and Alex Strofe. Thanks for listening. All right, coming up next, Gruber Law Office's One Call, right here on Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
We're back with Green Bay Game Day after this on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Swing into action to experience Sweetgrass and Sage Run in 2025. The Island Resort and Casino's stay-and-play packages are a hole-in-one. By blending award-winning golf with exceptional amenities, we've become the premier resort destination in the Midwest. But don't wait. These popular packages fill up fast. To book your 2025 golf getaway and secure your spot on the green, visit islandresortgolf.com today.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
There's a clear choice for U.S. Senate. Career politician Tammy Baldwin wasted trillions of dollars and created crushing inflation. Baldwin opened our borders and gave taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants. And she voted to put men in girls' sports. Businessman Eric Hovde will stop inflation, secure our border, and defend our Wisconsin values.
I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
My overall experience with Gruber Law Offices has been phenomenal.
The treatment was excellent.
They will be supportive of you. They will listen to you.
It was a great experience knowing that I had people to help me.
I know I could count on them to do what I needed to get done.
Experience with Gruber was great.
They gave me my life back.
It was amazing.
He gets results.
We know how to win. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices had my best interests at heart.
Gabe Neitzel here. I know you've already heard me talking about how Mentality has helped me over the years, but there are others like me. Jason has been using Mentality for a while now and is loving the results.
I have gotten a handful of friends, probably a couple dozen, especially those that are closer to my age, maybe even a little bit older, because I just tell them, you got to check this out. Do not wait any longer. Just go and admit it. Yep, you're at an age where things are slowing down. I promise you're not going to regret it, and that's truly what I get. I'll get a phone call after, like, man, I feel like a kid at Chuck E. Cheese right now.
Learn more today at LowTUSA.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Hey friend, ready for a sweet trip down memory lane? Head to the bake sale at Quick Trip. Craving those fresh, oven-baked cookies like Grandma used to make? The Quickery's got them. Baked with love and a touch of that old-fashioned goodness. In a rush? Grab a muffin for just $1.19. A perfect on-the-go treat. From glazers to cake donuts. Indulge at the bake sale. So what are you waiting for? Treat yourself. Only at Quick Trip.
This is Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Hey, little lady, I know you're feeling crazy. All your other friends are busy making them babies. Been out in the real world, don't like how it's tasting. Let me change your mind.
Green Bay Game Day presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. We have a little battle happening right outside our fence here at the Tundra Treehouse. We have 7 Lions fans taking a picture. A Packers fan just jumped in the middle of it. He doesn't know these people. I love that. Boldness from a guy in a Romeo Dobbs jersey, now walking away, talking a little smack as he walks away, now pointing at other Lions fans, taking a smack talking elsewhere in Lot 1 at Lambeau Field. An electric man in a Romeo Dobbs jersey telling all the Lions fans here at Lambeau Field, oh, we're going to win today. Yeah, you tell them, Romeo Dobbs. It's Green Bay Game Day presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, Super Bowl champion Jared Bush hanging out with you. A lot of powder blue making its way into Lambeau Field. I would say probably about a 70-30 split, Gabe. Jarrett, is that about right?
Yeah, I would say, definitely a lot more green and gold today.
It's
Detroit.
tough with the rain because so many people
ponchos.
have, you got ponchos, I saw somebody, hunting jackets, saw somebody with a camo jacket out here earlier. So it's just kind of tough. I would say closer to 75-25.
Okay, we'll take it. We will take more Packers fans always, but Zadarius Smith jersey spotted. Interesting choice on today of all days, but nonetheless.
Yeah.
It is time now to take a look at our Gruber Law Office's one call for the upcoming game. We each make one prediction for the game coming up here against the Detroit Lions. Gabe Neitzel, we will start with you.
I am going to say the Packers defense continues to be opportunistic. That is the been their calling card under Jeff Hafley. I will say they create 2 more turnovers to add to their season total today. So 2 more turnovers for this defense. Not sure if they're going to be interceptions or fumbles, but they are going to continue to be opportunistic for the Packers today.
That would be their league-leading season total that Gabe Neitzel refers to. 2 more turnovers for the Packers defense. Like that one from Gabe Neitzel. JB, we go to you.
Yeah, no, I think it's either going to be a minimal turnover or I think it's going to be maximal because it's wet out there. In Detroit, I heard the stat, I think they played 3 or 4 games outdoors.
That's it.
3, yeah.
This is game 1.
And this is game 1.
This is game 1 of the
first
3.
One.
Yeah.
You talking about you haven't handled the ball with rain, with snow, with any type of dust
wind,
or leaves,
with
any type of leaf on the ball. I think they're going to struggle. You know why? Because I think preparation is the key to everything, just in life in general. And you're telling me you're not going to prepare for this game at all? I think it's going to be either a turnover for the Packers, 2 or 4. Why? Because I think the Green Bay Packers, we have to go grocery shopping in this weather, and we have to carry groceries into the house in this type of weather. As on top of play football. And so that's why I think I'm so optimistic.
You live it. You breathe it. It's a part of who you are.
You embrace it. Love it.
I need Jared Bush and shoulder pads. I need it. I mean, he's giving as much energy as we need right now, and we're a little short-handed at defensive back today. We could use JP out there on Lambeau Field here in less than an hour. Packers-Lions. I can count on you. Here you are on Green Bay Game Day. Yeah, my one call is similar in the vein of Gabe Neitzel's. I think Xavier McKinney does it again. I think Xavier McKinney adds another interception to his league-leading 6 interceptions on the season. Jared Goff will throw an interception to Xavier McKinney. That is one of my one calls. I'm going to double whammy you guys.
Oh, wow. 2 call, that's all.
Yeah, 2 call, that's all from Alex Strofe. Christian Watson gets into the end zone today.
Okay.
I think Christian Watson finally gets into the end zone after a long break from doing such. That is your the hiatus. Good word choice.
Yeah.
Dude, you're on fire today with the words. Gruber Law Offices has a reputation for winning. Their experienced and powerful team works tirelessly to help people and families seriously injured in accidents by providing the best care and service. There is never a fee until your case is won. Gruber Law Offices has been serving the people and state of Wisconsin for over 35 years. Gruber Law Offices, one call. That's all. Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, Super Bowl champion Jared Bush hanging out with you from the Tundra Trio just outside of Lambeau Field in the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio. We're staying dry for now. We got that going for us at least.
For now.
Yeah, we are staying dry, yeah.
Well, I'm going to the game. I'm sitting outside.
You will not stay dry.
I will not stay dry.
Are you going to wear? So you have this beautiful cheese hat.
Yeah, my friends at the Packers Pro Shop.
Yeah, so if you're watching on the stream, it's been sitting there the entire time. It has your last name on it.
Yeah.
Are you wearing this in?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to put it on right now. Keep talking.
Okay, all right. So he's going to put it on right now. I don't know if you should wear it in. I'd be scared of potentially ruining that. I think you're going to have to do the good old JR there.
I think you might have to put it on the back, like a DJ. On the DJ.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're going to have to.
Like the DJ. There you go.
Okay.
Wiki, boom, boom.
Yeah, you're going to have to Jim Ross.
There you go.
Jim Ross, good old JR.
Slobber knocker.
There you
Slobber knocker.
Jared's helping you out.
All right, I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to let it ride for the time being. I think I got to hold it. Yeah.
There you go.
The cheese head isn't waterproof, man. Like that thing is just going to get
like a
I was wearing I was wearing it this morning.
Really
I let
strengthen up those neck muscles by the end of the game.
Yeah, I might have a concussion by the end of this thing by wearing this cheese head into the game the way it's going to be coming down. But yeah, I mean, this is a brand new gift. I got it yesterday from my friends at the Packers Pro Shop. They sent me over a cheese head package essentially. So I got the cheese head with my last name on the back.
Yep.
I got a cheese head Christmas ornament for my Christmas tree, which is fantastic.
Very nice.
I got a cheese koozie. I got some cheese sunglasses.
Oh.
And I got a cheese pin and a cheese sticker.
There you
so
go.
all cheese head featured things from the Packers Pro Shop that were sent my way. But I've actually never owned a cheese head. Believe it or not, I grew up in Green Bay. I grew up on the east side of Green Bay. I've lived here the first 18 years of my life. Then I moved to Stevens Point. Then I moved to Madison. And now I've been in Milwaukee. So I've lived in the state of Wisconsin my whole life. I've been a Packers fan, born and bred, obviously, my whole life. I've never worn a cheese head. Wait, that person's smart. He's got a poncho over his cheese head.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I do.
That's what you need to do.
There we go.
You got to get some plastic over the cheese head to protect it.
Protect the cheese head.
We are smart individuals on this program. But anyway, so cheese head's not waterproof. That's something I learned today. But nonetheless.
Do they attract girls? Do they attract?
I mean,
I've
seen females.
Sexy?
I've seen females wear cheese heads, so maybe it's like
I want to talk to that guy.
Yeah, with the custom cheese head especially.
The custom
Whoa,
cheese head.
He's a big deal. He's got his name on that cheese head.
Not only does he have a cheese head.
Hello, sir. Hello.
How do you do?
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
That is what we will find out today. All right, coming up next, we'll take a look at our best bets presented by the Island Resort and Casino right here on Green Bay Game Day, live on ESPN Milwaukee.
Stay right here. Green Bay Game Day will be right back on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Career politician Tammy Baldwin wasted trillions of dollars and created crushing inflation. Baldwin opened our borders and gave taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants. And she voted to put men in girls' sports. Enough is enough. Businessman Eric Hovde will stop inflation, secure the border, and defend our Wisconsin values. Here's Eric Hovde.
You have a clear choice in this election. Senator Baldwin is a 38-year career politician. I'm a businessman and job creator. She supports taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. I'll close the border. Tammy wants to put guys in girls' sports and in their bathrooms. I'll protect our daughters. Senator Baldwin abuses the political system. I'll fight the corruption. I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
For over 4 decades, one name has stood out as a symbol of excellence in automotive sales and service. It's the Boucher Automotive Group, dedicated to providing exceptional experiences to all of our valued customers.
We will help you find the perfect vehicle within your budget while respecting your time.
With 20 convenient locations, we're the one-stop destination for all your automotive needs.
At Boucher, we're your trusted partner on every mile of your journey, riding with you every mile since 1977.
If you want to win at tailgating, you need to Boatify your beverage choice. Boatybox Wine is the ultimate addition to your tailgate party. This premium wine comes in an eco-friendly box, fitting perfectly in your cooler or trunk. And there's no heavy glass or corkscrew to deal with. One 3-liter Boatybox is the equivalent of 4 bottles of wine, so it's great for sharing. Bring the wine that wins with wine critics, where there's quality in every sip. Boatybox. Be open to anything. Please drink responsibly. Must be 21 or older. Boatybox Vineyards, Manteca, California.
Get ready for the moment we've all been waiting for. It's the 300K season finale giveaway at Potawatomi. Friday, December 20th, watch your entries from Bird Bash, Cash Clash, and Winter Stash. All pile into one massive drawing for a chance at up to 50 grand cash. Be there to win your share. December 20th, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/finale. Must be 21 years old to play.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority with the latest technologies at their state-of-the-art Brookfield office. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. And now, Holtebeck Eye Center is excited to add Dr. Nausheen Abbas to their team. Dr. Abbas is an ophthalmologist and cornea specialist that is now available to see patients. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol, learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Welcome back to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day. 48 minutes away from kickoff. Packers-Lions, biggest game of the season, biggest measuring stick game of the season, and a first place through 9 weeks in the NFC North on the line between the Packers and the Lions today, right there at Lambeau Field. We're just outside in the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio here on Green Bay Game Day, which is presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. I'm Alex Strofe. That is Gabriel Neitzel, the world famous. That is the Super Bowl champion, Jarrett Bush. Had a pick in a Super Bowl.
That's too shabby.
That's pretty good.
Almost a 2.
Not too shabby. Oh, man. Not too
I'm going to bring that up every week.
Yeah. You know what? It was in my arms. It was in my arms.
Hey, you still won the game, man. I think you can get over it. You got to get over this one.
I know.
You had one. I mean, 2 would have been special.
I caught that one one-handed.
Yeah.
And so it, stuck. And I caught it and it just stuck. You know the gloves had tack.
Oh, right? Yeah.
And so I caught it and just stuck. And at the same time, I simultaneously hit Mike Wallace and Sam Shields was behind him. And I just fell to the ground and I was like, ugh, got it. And got up because I felt like nobody touched me. Anyways,
Well, Gabe, you weren't here last time when we discussed the stat. Only 6 individuals in NFL history have had multiple interceptions in a Super Bowl. Could have been 7.
Could have been, yeah.
Could have been 7.
Yeah. And there's a short list.
It's a short list and a pretty good list. There's some pretty good names on that list, if I do remember correctly. But anyway, all right, time now to look at our best bets, which are presented by the Island Resort and Casino. The Island Resort and Casino, a premier resort destination, the largest north of Milwaukee, with everything you like to do in one awesome location. Visit islandresortandcasino.com and book your total experience today. Let's start with the quarterbacks, each of them, shall we? We will start, of course, with Jordan Love. 222 and a half, 222 and a half passing yards today is the projection for Jordan Love. Gabriel?
I'm going to go under on that. I just think with the wet, rainy conditions, they'll probably limit as much as they throw Jordan Love. They probably want to make sure that they don't put him in harm's way a ton. So I think that's also going to limit his passing attempts. So I'm going to go under given the weather and the potential injury for Jordan Love.
Jared Bush?
Yeah, I definitely want to second that motion. And if he does, here's what I say. I think he's under the 220 mark. The only reason if he surpasses that is because the receivers either broke tackles and got some yak along the way, and the defense of the Detroit Lions just completely botch a few tackles, and they run into each other, and Romeo Doubs or Christian Watson is scooting down the sideline free down into the touchdown.
We've talked a lot about the running backs for Detroit. David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs. They are very good. It is the best 1-2 punch, without a doubt, in the National Football League. Combined line for them. This is just rushing yards, not receiving. 127.5 combined for David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. 127.5. Gabe Neitzel.
Over. I'm going over there. The Packers have really struggled at stopping the run this season, especially when they've gone up against elite backs, and that's exactly what these two guys are. Detroit's going to want to establish the run, and they're going to want to, take shots off that play action. It's what they've done all season long. I'm going to take the over on those two backs at 127 yards.
127.5 is the line. Jarrett Bush.
Yeah, combined. Yeah, I think that if that's
somebody's going to have a big game on one of them.
If you're saying that that's going to be our weak point as a defense, I definitely feel that we can give that up and still win. Albeit to say that, so I will say yes, they either meet it or surpass it, but we still come away with the win, which we're gonna laugh all the way to the Packer tunnel and the locker room, unraveling our tape and our cleats.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Mixon had a huge game. He had a pretty good game for Houston a couple of weeks ago. Here at Lambeau Field, Packers were still able to come away victorious. So even though those guys, I think, are going to go over, the Packers are certainly still going to have an opportunity today.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I'm not going to ask you about Jared Goff, but it's 212.5. And I imagine if Montgomery and Gibbs hits the over, Goff will be the under. Yeah. Right? If that's the way we see that playing out. All right, let's call our shot. 4 Packers wide receivers. Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks. Who gets into the end zone first? If Jordan Love does, of course, throw a passing touchdown. That is, of course, assuming he does.
I'm going to say Jaden Reed. And I think it's going to be Jaden Reed because his versatility in a game like this is, it's what separates him from everybody else that they have because they design different ways to get him the football, whether it's on the jet sweeps. I think, a little pop pass where you've got Jordan Love in the shotgun. He's coming in motion across, snap it to Love. He just kind of pops it forward. I think you might see that as they try to attack the edge with Jaden Reed. I'll say Jaden Reed of the 4 wide receivers finds the end zone first.
All right, I like it.
In the red zone.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, sir.
Huh.
Okay. Jaden Reed or going elsewhere?
I would say he took my pick, but if I don't get,
JP and I are on the same page.
If I get another pick, I'm going to have to say Romeo Doubs. Why? Because I think he is very versatile. He's not the most handsome guy, but I definitely feel he adjusts the ball well. And I think when it comes down to just making plays in the production column, I think Romeo Doubs is definitely on the top of the list in just making plays and creating separation against the defensive back.
There's one thing that is for sure of the 4. Romeo Doubs has the most trust from his quarterback.
No doubt. I was actually just about to bring that up, Gabe, because I think since his incident earlier in the season, he's shushed everybody up.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he has been playing out of his mind, been the leading receiver in most of the games he's played since then, if not all of them, in terms of yardage.
Yeah.
He certainly has the most reliable chemistry with the quarterback, Jordan Love, and with Love playing today, I imagine he will look Dobbs' way quite a bit. But it has been impressive, Gabe, the way that Dobbs has really made that situation, being suspended for a game, just a blip on the radar.
Yeah, and I think that goes to him, that goes to the leadership of Jordan Love and everybody on this offense, because it could certainly be awkward when a teammate does something the way that Romeo Dobbs decided to handle it. But to a man, when anybody was asked about it in the locker room, they had his back. And I think that's what helped the Packers be able to transition past it pretty quickly.
Yeah. And I'm surprised, you know what, the secondary, maybe somebody on the secondary, since Jair is out, should get suspended because he's playing lights out. I'm serious. I've never seen somebody come back and get suspended and then start playing lights out like Romeo Dobbs. Phenomenal.
Really good point by JP.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
All right, Corey Ballantyne, you unhappy with your role, pal?
Right?
Go ahead and skip practice on Tuesday. See what happens. I love that.
Extra sleep.
Yeah, no. That is our best bets presented by the Island Resort and Casino. The Island Resort and Casino, premier resort destination, the largest north of Milwaukee. Visit their website, islandresortandcasino.com for more information. Last two, Detroit is favored by 2.5. The over-under, 48.5. I think that's going to be over. I think we're going to see points today. 48.5, the over-under.
Yeah, even with the bad weather, and I think there could be some lack of explosiveness in the passing game. I think you're going to see plenty of it in the running game. I think points are still going to happen. The Packers offense starting to find their footing a little bit, and this Lions offense has been red hot over the last 4 weeks with 172 points. They're averaging 33 points per game this season. I'm going to go over on that as well.
Yeah. I understand the Detroit Lions offense has been red hot, but I think they're going to be cooled off in this frozen tundra today. I don't know about you guys, but that's how I'm feeling. So I don't think they meet it.
I am really intrigued to see how this game starts. Right? Obviously, I'm intrigued to see how it finishes, but I'm really intrigued to see how it starts because I think if the Packers score early, that could dictate how Detroit attacks the Packers' defense, which obviously has some glaring holes without Jair Alexander and Evan Williams.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys this, because I think famously last year, Thanksgiving in Detroit, Packers win the toss, decide to take the ball, take the shot to Christian Watson, end up scoring a touchdown, kind of sets the tone for the day. It seems recently, because the offense has kind of gotten off to these slow starts, whether it's last week being 3-and-out, against Houston throwing the interception early for Jordan Love. If you're Matt LaFleur and you win this coin toss, are you deferring? Are you taking the football? What side do you want to see on the football on the field first in today's game?
History says, as the Packers, we defer.
Yep.
I would like Matt LaFleur. Here's what I would like to see today. I want to see Jordan Love. I want to see them get the ball. I want to see them manufacture points methodically down the field and put up the point and strike blood first. Allow me to be transparent and fed up and a little honest. I'm sick and tired of them just going out 3-and-out on the first drive each time.
100%.
I want to see the fire light up in Jordan Love. I love that he's cool, calm, and collected. He's all cuddly and just cool, calm. I want to see some freaking fire for once. I want to see the freaking look in his eye of the tiger for once. He's so cool, calm, and collected. I love that, and I love how his poise and everything that
It's a great attitude. Typically,
he is. But
it's what allows him to bounce back and play well after the interceptions he's thrown this year.
Correct,
Absolutely.
but I also know Pat Mahomes. I feel like you see it. You see it before the game. You see it when he scores a touchdown. You see it, and I think that I would like him to rise to that level occasionally because I think that's what you need to get to the top.
I love that. I love that from Jared Bush. I'm totally with you. 3-and-outs early haven't been fun.
Come on.
That's not fun to watch.
No. It's not entertaining.
How about Jordan Love just like on Thanksgiving, 80 yards to Christian Watson right out the game, right? Something like that. Take a deep shot. Let's get going early and often. But I think the Packers understand the level of which this game is, right? This is not the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is not the Indianapolis Colts. This is not the Tennessee Titans.
No.
This is the team that won your division last year. This is the team that was in the NFC Championship last year.
Correct.
This is the cream of the crop in the NFC. This is a game that matters. Obviously, for several reasons that we've discussed 100 times already in this show. This game is huge. You need to get out, punch him in the face early and often, and I use the term slobber knocker to quote the great Jim Ross last segment. By God, this better be a slobber knocker.
Right.
If the Packers want to win this game. Because the Lions aren't going to go away.
Right.
They're not a team that goes away.
Right.
Jason Wilde mentioned it when he was with us. They've scored 174 points in the last 4 weeks. That's not all season.
It's a lot.
The last 4 weeks, they've scored 40 or more 3 of the last 4 weeks. You need to get out and punch them in the face early and often. Not literally. You don't want to get suspended.
Yeah.
Unless you're Romeo Dobbs, because it worked out pretty well for him, as Jarrett Bush just pointed out. Scores around the NFL right now. 5 minutes remain in the Falcons and Cowboys game. Atlanta at home and with a 14-point lead, 27-13.
Dak got knocked out of that game, by the way.
I missed that, so thank you for the update.
Cooper Rush playing quarterback.
Boy, that's good stuff for the Cowboys, who are certainly faltering here this year. The Bills take the lead back. They were tied. Now they're up 27-20, approaching the 2-minute warning against the Miami Dolphins. Bills lead 27-20. Joe Burrow's 4 touchdown passes have catapulted.
Okay, all right, that's 27-27. Bills on the move, though, with a chance to potentially take the lead.
Okay, well, you're doing better than me, so why don't you continue?
Ravens leading the Broncos 41-10, putting finishing touches on that. That's under the 2-minute warning. The Chargers are going to beat the Browns 27-10. The Panthers just took the lead over the Saints 23-22, getting a touchdown from Chuba Hubbard to claim that lead just before the 2-minute warning. Bengals beating up on the Raiders 38-17. The Cowboys, as mentioned, 27-21, they're trailing, and the Patriots facing a second and goal with 8 seconds left, trailed by 7, 17-10 on the road in Tennessee. And the Commanders defeated the Giants 27-22. The Commanders now 7-2.
And Bengals now 5-3, 41-10 over the Broncos. That game just went final as well. So those are your 8 games here on the noon slate of the NFL schedule. A couple of games set to kick off in just a couple of minutes. Jaguars, Eagles in Philadelphia, and Bears and Cardinals in Arizona. And then your 3:25 games, Lions at Packers, of course, the one we are previewing, and Rams, Seahawks, the other games in the 3:25 slate. Nice rundown by Gabe Neitzel, who had the up-to-date information, unlike me, who did not have the up-to-date information.
Next man up.
Just like Carrington Valentine. Gabe Neitzel when it comes to the NFL scores.
Bills look like they just kicked a game-winning field goal. I believe there's a couple of seconds left, but they just made a long field goal to take a 30-27 lead.
Over the Miami Dolphins. The Bills looking like they are going to win that one. All right, there you go. We will wrap up Green Bay Game Day.
61 yards.
Woo!
That's deep.
Who's their kicker?
Tyler Bass.
Wow.
60. That's whew. With not a guarantee to have the clock run out. That's a gutsy call to kick it from kick a field goal from midfield.
Hey, Gabe, it shows you what happens when you have faith in your kicker.
Yeah, right?
Kind of a foreign concept up here in Green Bay, except the last 2 weeks. It's worked out all right for Brandon McManus, who has hit back-to-back game winners as time expires. All right, Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, Super Bowl champ Jarrett Bush, hanging out with you for a couple more minutes. Coming up next, we wrap up the show. Final thoughts ahead of this first-place showdown. Green Bay Packers, Detroit Lions. We wrap up the show after this.
More Green Bay Game Day coming up on ESPN Wisconsin at 620 WTMJ.
Hey sports fans, looking to level up your next private event? V Private Bar Services is your game changer. Move beyond the ordinary. V Private Bar Services crafts custom cocktails tailored to your brand and your guests' taste. Imagine a bar experience that's as unique as your business. Our expert mixologists will create a memorable experience that your clients and team will rave about. From signature cocktails to full-service bars, we've got you covered. Be the MVP of your next event. Visit vprivatebar.com/MVP to book today.
With a local Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. They've been serving businesses and individuals in the area for nearly 15 years, including a long-standing commitment to the healthcare industry. From expansion to treasury management, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions across the healthcare spectrum to meet the complex moments you're navigating. Fifth Third Bank, National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Sometimes it feels like you're down in the fourth quarter with the game on the line. Don't let your car care fumble your day. Score a touchdown with Tsunami Express Car Wash. Their state-of-the-art tunnels and free vacuums make cleanup a breeze. And their detail centers give your car an MVP shine. It's a game-winning drive every time. They're making it even easier to score big across Wisconsin with a 7th location now in Midtown Milwaukee. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Sign up online for your first wash free at TsunamiExpress.com.
There's a clear choice for U.S. Senate. Career politician Tammy Baldwin wasted trillions of dollars and created crushing inflation. Baldwin opened our borders and gave taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants. And she voted to put men in girls' sports. Businessman Eric Hovde will stop inflation, secure our border, and defend our Wisconsin values.
I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta. Whether I'm headed to a big college football game or just need a reliable ride, I trust AccuTrans Group. They're a veteran-owned business that delivers top-notch transportation, perfect for game day or any event. From tailgates to team outings to corporate travel and weddings, AccuTrans has you covered. Booking is a breeze, and their service is always safe and dependable. Visit AccuTransGroup.com to book your ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com, your go-to for reliable transportation this football season.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff. We like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated and uncompromising. Like an award-winning men's grooming experience from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Avenue, just south of Putes Road. Open 7 days a week, even Sundays. Walk in anytime, and before you know it, our talented stylist will bring you back to a simpler time. A time when you were handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Avenue, just south of Putes Road. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
You're listening to Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ.
Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, just outside of Lambeau Field in the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio. I'm Alex Strofe. That is Gabe Neitzel. That is Super Bowl champion Jared Bush. JB hanging out with you for about 15 or so more minutes as we lead you up to kickoff between the Packers and the Lions. Essentially a first-place game between the Packers and the Lions today. The Lions 6-1, the Packers 6-2. Winner of this game will have sole possession of first place in the NFC North entering Week 10 already, which is crazy. Next week of NFL action. The Packers, of course, on bye in Week 10, but they would go into their bye in first place of the toughest division in the National Football League. All right, so we've got about 15 minutes to give some final thoughts here, fellas.
Yeah.
Let's start with Jordan Love. Obviously dealing with the groin injury, still dealing with the after effects of the MCL sprain suffered Week 1 against the Philadelphia Eagles. He will not be 100%, but he is playing. It's going to be wet. It's going to be sloppy. It's going to be a little windy, but not too bad here today at Lambeau Field. Jordan Love will be asked to be Jordan Love. I don't think they changed the game plan due to his injury. I don't think they're only going to have him throw the ball 5 times like they did with Malik Willis in the second half of last week's game. They're going to ask Jordan Love to be Jordan Love. Now, what I am asking Jordan Love to be is Jordan Love, but of the second half of last season. Don't turn the ball over because that's going to bite you, right? Tennessee turned the ball over 4 times last week and allowed Detroit to score 51 points. You can't you can't make stupid decisions and make stupid mistakes that cost you a lead early, right? We all agree on that?
Yep. Yeah, I think first and foremost, taking care of the football is his biggest responsibility today. You have to avoid those turnovers because what you mentioned the Tennessee game last week, it gave the Lions a short field on all 4 of those. I mean, we're talking 4 touchdown drives of 20 yards or less for the Lions. So you have to take care of the football and make sure that you're not putting your defense in an advantageous spot. So I think that's first and foremost, and I'm sure that's been drilled into his head. You know, the Packers have come out and said, yeah, we know there's going to be some risks and all these things about, you know, the way that he plays, you know, the quarterback position. But it's very important when you're playing the best teams in the league to take care of the football. So Jordan Love has to do that today.
Yeah, I definitely motion that. Take care of the football. Understand that if you're not feeling as 100%, understand that you got to talk, you got to communicate with Matt LaFleur. I think that's got to be big. Matt LaFleur has to really be attuned to what Jordan Love is feeling in the sense of does he warm up? When does he warm up? Like when are his most productive points in the game? And really have that intimate conversation with him before you get out there on the football field so that you've done the work of getting to know your quarterback to be able to manufacture points as best as possible. Understanding that he's limited. Does he like to roll out to the left? Does he like to roll out to the right? I think this is a conversation that I would like him to see, have, or with the, as well as like hopefully they show on TV that they show that he's communicating with the training staff. I definitely feel like he's the engine that makes the Packers go, as well as if they do get up. Again, what I'm sick and tired of seeing is the defense let up and give up points because they know that they have points to give. I don't think that makes championship caliber teams. So if they get up, I like them to, in the sense of what's Wayne Larrabee say, and there
Dagger.
is your dagger. I want to see that dagger like hinged and clenched like in the third quarter. If you get up by like 21 or 35, like why would you want to make that game even closer?
Hey, if they go up 35 in the third quarter, I will promise you this: I will take my shirt off. I will get on Fox.
And we love those fans.
I was about to say, if they're up by 35, there's a chance Strofe doesn't show up to work tomorrow.
That's a good point. Yeah. At least very late and maybe with some sunglasses.
Awesome.
That might be how that one turns out.
Yes.
Very good point by you.
Yes.
All right, let's go to the defense. No Jair Alexander, no Evan Williams in the defensive backfield. Jared has talked at length today about next man up, right? Those were the moments he loved. He didn't like seeing his teammates injured, obviously, but when he had the opportunity to step up, those are what pro football players are made of. The last time Jared Goff played outside, 20 of 35, under 200 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. That was against the Chicago Bears last December. Hasn't played an outdoor game since, which is bananas to me. He's not very good outside. Gabe, you've talked a lot about that this show. The defensive backfield's banged up, but a good opportunity against a quarterback who hasn't done his best work outside.
Look, Valentine had a lot of experience from a year ago when Stokes and then Jair was injured quite a bit last. He certainly had his issues last year and didn't play in every game. So this defensive backfield had to deal with this once before, and Keyshawn Nixon continues to grow as a defender. He was initially brought in here just to be a return guy, then signed to be you can be the slot guy and the return guy. Now he's the best cornerback that they'll have available to them on this field, and I think that's going to be a pretty big key, and it makes me feel a little bit better about what their game plan is because, without Jair Alexander. Going into this season, they had faith in Stokes. They had faith in Valentine. Both those guys are going to have to play a big role today, and I think that they are up for it. Now, are they going to give up some plays? Sure. That is a very talented Detroit Lions offense. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a really good wide receiver. He got top dollar this offseason for a reason. But I think, for the most part, that defensive backfield is going to hold up today.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to them rising up to that challenge as well, Gabe, and understand that I think they know, watching the film, that they need to be a little bit closer on those contested throws and knocking some balls away to like, hey, no, you're not just going to thread the needle on every opportunity that you get. I think that's something that I definitely, as a defensive back, like we notice, like, okay, when we're close, knock the ball away, not like, oh, it was close and they caught it. We need to make that distinction between send to the offensive coordinator, not only the quarterback, but to the offensive coordinator who's up there in the booth, who are scheduling those plays. And I think that's one thing that I like them to make a point of, even though they are backups, stepping up into a starting role.
And look, I mean, this is a position we haven't found ourselves in terms of having a really great safety. Since a guy you played with, Nick Collins, having Xavier McKinney as that eraser in the back to help make up for mistakes that your corners may make, I think that's huge. That's not something we're used to seeing, again, as Packer fans, having that guy in the defensive backfield.
No doubt about that. Josh Jacobs appeared on the injury report this week. He is active today for the Green Bay Packers, and he's probably going to be heavily relied on today, given the conditions outside. Gabe, any worries when it comes to the running back, Josh Jacobs?
No, I think when we talked about it with Rob Demovsky earlier, he nailed it in terms of, you just got to make sure that thing's taped up tightly. If they, retape it at halftime, retape it at a different point, and if they have to do that, sure, fine, they have to do that. But I have zero doubts about Josh Jacobs because he also told Rob earlier this week, yeah, I dinged up. I'll be fine. I'll be good to go. Like, he's been telling people that all week. I think he knows that this is his type of game. This is a cold, wet, rainy day at Lambeau Field. This is his type of game, and I think that's he's going to be ready to go. I have no doubts about him.
Yeah, I definitely, on top of Josh Jacobs, I think he's the angriest man running the football on the football field, as well as the utilization of some of the other role players, Eugene Wilson. We have another.
You always call him Eugene. Emmanuel. You just like you mixing up the old man names.
Okay.
Emmanuel and Eugene.
Yeah. And then we have another star running back guy. I think he's like a receiving running back. I can't remember his name. Number 20 or number 22. Can't
Chris
remember.
Brooks?
Chris Brooks. Yeah. I think there's a nice little rotation.
Great job in pass pro. He's a very good blocker.
Right. And so I definitely love the unit as a whole, as well as the running back coach, Ben Sermon, and I think just the whole utilization of that whole unit or that meeting room is definitely an advantageous one, and they're maximizing as well.
Time for final thoughts and game picks ahead of Packers and Lions. We start with Gabe Neitzel.
I'm not going to waver off of this. I thought if Jordan Love played that the Packers were going to find a way to win. I know the injury report hasn't gone their way, but I just feel like this team is going to start to find its peak starting today and then into the tough part of the schedule after the bye. I think that ultimately with Jordan Love, with Josh Jacobs, Xavier McKinney, they have playmakers in the right spots. Fortunate for them with the rainy conditions. I don't think the pass rush or lack of pass rush with your front four is going to hurt you too much today. The Lions will score points, but I think the Packers can score points with them. I'm taking the Packers 28-24.
28-24, that would hit the over. You like the points? You like a close one. That's what I think we're all expecting here today. 28-24 Packers.
Well, we'll see what Jarrett does. He was talking about them being up by 35 in the third quarter. So.
Yeah, we'll see how much confidence the former Packer and Super Bowl champion Jarrett Bush has.
Yeah.
Final thoughts and game pick.
You know what? I try to use my instincts on this one. Something's telling me like the combined points are going to be like 41 points.
Okay.
Oh.
All I heard was 41. So I don't know what that exactly means.
27-14?
20, 21, 20. It's going to be close.
Okay. Who do you have winning?
Pack.
Yeah.
Why'd I even ask?
What an outrageous question. How dare you, Alex Strofe? How dare you, sir?
Yeah, my bad. I mean, that one's on me, guys. My bad. The fireworks going off behind us, just 10 minutes away from kickoff. From Packers and Lions, less than that, in fact, here. The Lions favored by 2.5, the over-under 48.5, according to ESPN Bet for this one. Packers, Lions, first place. The Lions 6-1, the Packers 6-2. I don't need to explain to you how important this game is for the remainder of the season for both teams participating in this game. I want to outline the Lions' record one more time, guys. 6-1. What does that mean?
They've lost one time and won 6 times?
Yes, but the first half of that is more what I'm curious about. What does that mean?
That they've lost one time.
They are capable of losing. We've spent a lot of time talking this week that the Lions are otherworldly. They've scored 174 points in 4 weeks. Oh, my goodness. How could the Packers ever beat them? Well, I've got news for you. Watch at 325. That's how the Packers can beat them. Jordan Love has to be creative, or Matt LaFleur has to be creative, and Jordan Love has to limit the turnovers today against the Lions defense. He does that, They win. They find a way to win, and I think they will. I'll take the Packers 31-27 over the Detroit Lions. So no Brandon McManus, last-second field goal for the third week in a row. I think the Packers offense does enough to get it done. Despite the injuries in the defensive backfield, I think they do pick off Jared Goff twice, including my Gruber Law Office's one call of Xavier McKinney getting back on the board with the 7th interception, league-leading 7th interception of the year. Packers 31, Lions 27. That means we are unanimous. Maybe I should have picked the Lions.
Look, I mean, this is going to be a really tight game, and we've talked about it throughout the course of the pregame here. Even if they lose the game today, not all is lost in the season. Yes, It makes it tougher to come from behind and potentially win this division, but it's the best division in football. And I don't think it's particularly close. We'll see if Minnesota can bounce back after losing back-to-back games tonight against Indianapolis, but these are, to me right now, the two best teams in the NFC. Maybe that changes by the end of the year if San Francisco can get healthy, if Washington continues to make believers out of everybody. They won today. So they're sitting out there with just a 2-loss record as well in the NFC East. But this is the type of game that you love to see. Just a high-profile matchup, an opportunity to showcase just how good you are heading into your bye. I cannot wait for kickoff.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that one. A big thanks to Jason Wilde and Rob Demovsky, who joined us throughout and Steve Scafidi, who joined us throughout the program today. A big thanks to Max Meyerson, our executive producer on Green Bay Game Day, for running the show, as always. Gabe Neitzel, good to have you back. Thank you.
Excited to be back. Go Pack Go.
Go Pack Go. Big one today. Big game feel here in Green Bay. The Super Bowl champ, terrific insights all day from Jared Bush. JB, always a pleasure, brother.
My pleasure. Hey, I'm excited. Go Pack. I hope you take your cheese head.
I am. I'm going to wear the cheese head. I figured it out. I mathematically did it during this.
Find some type of cheese head poncho, because I'm excited for you, brother. And I'm excited for the Packers to get this dub.
Let's go with Packers-Lions, 3:25 kickoff. Winner is in first place of the NFC North. A reminder, Green Bay game night begins immediately following the final whistle. Homer, Mark Tauscher, Gary Ellerson taking your calls following Packers-Lions across ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ. This has been Green Bay Game Day, presented by the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, right here on ESPN Milwaukee.
Hey, sports fans, looking to level up your next private event? V Private Bar Services is your game.